Hello and welcome to the 14th Annual Donald Manzelli Memorial Telethon. My name is Jim Major and I'll be one of your hosts, and I'm joined today by Rich Mucci and Vinny Felici, who will be cooking with us later on in the program. We have an exciting new feature today. If you're unable to call in with a donation, you can use your cell phone and scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen, and it'll bring you right to the donation page, or you can call the number 781-995-4178.
To start things off, let's play a video introducing you to the man who the telethon is named after, Donald Manzelli.
Don grew up in Watertown and graduated from Watertown High School in 1946. After 2 years as a sergeant in the U.S. Army and member of the Army Ground Forces Band in Washington, D.C., Don attended Brown University and then transferred to the Colorado College. While earning a Bachelor of Science in Engineering, he developed a deep appreciation for and commitment to the college. Over the years, Don created countless structures all over Massachusetts, winning many awards and accolades. His design construction business began in the 60s in Arlington and moved to Woburn in the 70s. Don immersed himself in all aspects of the community by joining the North Suburban Chamber of Commerce, the Woburn Business Association, the Woburn Redevelopment Authority, the Lions Club, and the Winchester Hospital. Don was also a member of state and national building organizations such as the Associated General Contractors of America and Massachusetts, the American Arbitration Association, and was responsible for the accreditation of building/engineering curricula at colleges and universities throughout the United States. Don was a private pilot who traveled extensively. He was also an avid fan of jazz, classical, opera, and musical theater. In his later years, Don expended endless energy and enthusiasm for many charities, including the North Suburban YMCA, the Woburn Public Library, and the Council of Social Concern. Don Manzelli became actively involved with the Council of Social Concern in 2001 when he became a member of the Century Campaign Committee that was involved with raising money to help Council of Social Concern build his facility at 2 Merrimack Street in Woburn. Don also took on an active role by volunteering hundreds of hours helping to keep an eye on all phases of the construction of this new facility. Don was elected to the Board of Directors of Council of Social Concern on July 1st, 2006, and served until his death on June 16th, 2010. Don became active in raising new funds for the agency and took on the chairmanship of the Neighbors Helping Neighbors Campaign Committee. The legacy that Don has left to the Council of Social Concern is both a beautiful facility from which to serve the community and a more financially secure agency because of his dedication and commitment to our mission. Don will be forever missed as a friend of Council of Social Concern.
Welcome back. About a month ago, we lost Mary Lang. Mary worked at the Council of Social Concern for 35 years and was a huge part of putting on this telethon for the past 14 years. I had the pleasure of working with Mary, not only with the council, but in the real estate business when she had her license. She was also a Rotarian. And one of the mottos that we have in Rotary is service above self, and Mary was certainly epitomized that. Later on in the show, we're going to show some videos from Mary's friends and colleagues sharing some of the memories of her.
Yeah, Jim, you're absolutely right. Mary was a fixture at the council for so long. She really embodied the spirit of what the council stood for. A lifelong resident of Woburn, dedicated her life to helping those in the community. It was a huge loss for the council and the community, and certainly we miss her dearly every day. So,
She'll certainly be missed.
It'll be great to see those videos later on in this segment. Now, let's take a look at what the Council of Social Concern does in our community.
Council of Social Concern was founded in 1969 by a group of local volunteers who were concerned about the needs of Woburn's low-income and minority families. Their purpose was to promote a climate of neighborliness, which recognizes the inherent dignity of people, regardless of race, religion, or national origin. The agency was formed to function as a conscience to the community. Council of Social Concern was originally located at 19 Campbell Street, Woburn, and served the community at that site for 34 years. After outgrowing the Campbell Street facility, Council of Social Concern moved to their new site at 2 Merrimack Street in April of 2003. Finally, all programs were under one roof, a dream come true. The Council of Social Concern celebrates years of providing service to those who are in need of living in their own community through many programs offered: the Children's Center, Family Child Care System, Family Skill Building Parenting Education Program, and the Food Pantry Program. We have brought relief and dignity to thousands of children, families, and individuals who look to us for help. Over the years, these programs have altered and expanded their services and increased capacity as needed in response to community need. This year, our programs will assist about 3,000 individuals in Woburn, Winchester, and other residents and communities within the Middlesex County. This is done with the assistance of 26 staff, 15 contracted family child care providers, and approximately 360 volunteers. Please pick up the telephone and call 781-995-4178 to donate live at tonight's Council of Social Concern Telethon.
Get those phones ringing. They're
Absolutely.
pretty silent right now. We got a lot of guests for you today, and our first guest today, David Crowley, who runs the Social Capital Inc. in Woburn. David, come on in.
Come on in,
Come on in
David.
between us here.
How are you? Good to see
Welcome,
you,
David. I
Good to
haven't
see
seen
you.
you in a while.
I
Good to
know,
see you, my
great
friend.
To see you, Jim.
Good to see you, David. Thanks
So,
for
how's
coming on.
things going with SCI?
Going pretty well, yeah. It's a busy time of year. Although one thing that's not too busy, one of our programs it involves helping seniors get shoveled out in the winter. So the volunteers have been pretty light.
So they're
work
ready to go?
this winter. They're ready to go. Hopefully we won't get too much work for them.
You guys just celebrated 20 years.
Exactly. Yes. Good memory. Yeah, we've been at it for 20 years. Not quite as long as the council, but that is quite some time. And yeah.
And some interesting things that you do around the city during the summertime. I don't know if anybody gets to enjoy some of the concerts down at Horn Pond, but that's sponsored by your organization.
Yes, exactly. It's something we look forward to every year, and it's great. We actually started in Woburn Center, but when they were doing all the construction at what's now the Brickyard, we we thought 1 year to the pond, and everybody loves going down there, so we actually kept it there rather than moving it back to the center.
It's a great location for music. So
Yeah,
it's great.
it definitely is, and it's beautiful. You know, sometimes a little hot there in the sun, but you get the cooling breeze off the water.
I don't know if you've ever been down to those concerts. People are having a lot of fun, kids dancing and running around and whatnot. It's a nice addition to things that we offer in the city. So we certainly thank SCI for that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, David, you're one of those individuals that really builds collaboration in the Woburn community, right? With all these different organizations. Can you speak a little bit about how the council and the mission of the council fits into what you're
Yeah,
doing?
great question. I mean, definitely our focus, you know, we use our tagline, cultivating connections among community members, so very similar to yours. And one great example of collaborating with the council was when the pandemic first hit. We were both on like weekly Zoom calls, kind of coordinating along with many other agencies, you know, what needed to happen. And some of the ways we helped out and worked with them included like, if somebody, you know, couldn't leave their house because they were quarantined because of COVID, we had volunteers that were ready to go over to the council, get an emergency food basket, and bring it to the family. So, I mean, the council was very busy, kind of just, you know, manning the fort there at the agency, you know, and
Right.
and so we had coordinated volunteers that were go-betweens. And similarly, when there was I guess it was 2020 in the fall when the postal food drive was canceled, we worked with the council staff to do neighborhood food drives. So we had volunteers organized by neighborhood and go around and pick up the food donations in lieu of the post office.
No, they've been great
postal workers.
collaborations. I mean, you're being generous alluding to those ones in the past. They continue today. It's amazing all the work that you do, your organization does with groups like the council and other ones in town. It really fills a void that's necessary in helping the most vulnerable people in our city. So it's great work by everybody, and you know, it's great to see those agencies stepping up. One thing about the pandemic, if there's one good thing, it really brought all those agencies together to kind of try to work together, and we're all in this together type of attitude, and it's continued, which is fantastic. So it's great to see.
Yeah, I think we've always had it to some degree here in Woburn, but I think we amped it up during that period of time and continue. And I think just today's a good example. I'm sure I won't be the only other fellow
Right.
nonprofit that'll be here to support. We're happy to support this agency and hope those phones ring. In fact, I would also add to your Mary reminiscence that I can remember also as a fellow Rotarian with her that she would always urge Rotarians to get on the phone and call. She said, it doesn't matter how much, we just want to hear those phones ring. So if somebody wants to pick up the phone and do it to honor Mary, I'm sure she would appreciate that.
She was always an expert grant writer, and she helped our Rotary Club achieve a grant through the Cummings Foundation that we're still benefiting from today.
Yeah.
And those talents, those are hard to replace. So, certainly something to be missed. And another thing SCI really does well is training the new leaders of tomorrow. Talk about some of the initiatives that you guys have around
definitely.
that.
A couple things. So we have a program, a relatively new program called Leaders for an Equitable Tomorrow. And that's, we've had the last couple of years been able to offer some teens internships over the summer and now also during the school year to learn skills around leadership and also look at key issues like youth mental health and try to come up with things to help their peers kind of grapple with, as we know, that's been one of the big impacts of the pandemic as well. This, it was tough for everyone, but especially young people. So we're working, one of the best ways to address things like that is get the kids trained and how they can do things. We actually have an event coming up on March 7th. We're actually collaborating with an agency in Winchester and we'll be offering a program for Woburn and Winchester students, which I know the council also serves Winchester as well.
Right.
So kind of following in that footstep and will be a joint program over there where kids can do some yoga, do some hear
very
from
cool.
some folks that have some good perspective on mental health. And one other thing I would mention, I know I see people in the queue, but speaking of that
you're
leadership development, we have we're a local host of the AmeriCorps program, the SEI AmeriCorps program.
Sure.
So that's where sort of like a domestic Peace Corps where people can do a year of service to help pay for college. And so we have AmeriCorps members, a couple that stay with us, helping with some of the programs that I've mentioned, but we also place them at partner agencies like the Boys and Girls Club. And actually, the library now, is just this month has an AmeriCorps member starting to work in the teen room there. So it's great for agencies to get help, young, energetic folks that want to serve the community. But it's also a great opportunity if anyone's sitting out there and has somebody's getting ready to graduate who doesn't have plans, it's a great way they earn a stipend while they do it and money to help pay for college or college loans which we know a lot of people leave college with these days. So it's a great way to get some skills, make a difference, as well as earn some money.
A fantastic program from all fronts, right? It helps those agencies with some much needed help and helps individuals, as they're trying to decide what they want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fantastic.
Great.
So if somebody wanted to sign up for that March 7th program, they go to your website?
It's socialcapitalinc.org. They can find out about the March program as well as that AmeriCorps program.
Fantastic.
Great.
Good stuff.
Well, thank you very much for stopping by. Before you leave, maybe just shout out our phone number to get those phones ringing.
So again, 781-995-4178. I actually brought a check, but I should have just called it in to get the phones ringing.
No. We wanted you to come down. We wanted to see you. It's been a while that we've done this. It's great having you in person here and to hear about all the great stuff you have going on and to thank you in person for all your help. From the pandemic forward, it's been great collaborating with your agency.
Well, thanks for all the great work you do.
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic. And David, I would be more than happy to take that white envelope off your hands. Thank you again for your continued support and all you do at SCI.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, David.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you. All right, Jim, we're off. We're rolling here. I think we're 10 minutes in. We already got a check, so we're doing well.
Fantastic. All right, so our next guest, we have from the Woburn School Committee, Colleen Cormier. Colleen, come on up. How are you? Welcome. Good to see you.
Hi, Colleen. Good to see you. Thanks for coming down. We appreciate it.
So, some new things that are happening with the Woburn School Committee or the education fund that you're involved in.
So I was actually out of the country for the last month, so I'm not.
You were in Ghana?
I was in Ghana for 3 weeks.
Oh my God, I want to hear about this.
Well, you can go to my website.
Okay.
But also, it was fantastic. It was part of my practicum for my Master's in Public Health Nutrition. So 10 students together with some teachers. We went to a health center down there, and we did so many amazing things. We had a number of programs that we did, and also, of course, our practicums, our projects, and so it was phenomenal, and I was very lucky to be able to go for 3 weeks and meet
Wow.
everyone there.
That is
So,
fantastic.
That's great.
Yes. So unfortunately, I did miss a few school committee meetings, but we have been, actually, we're about to start a wellness committee, which is required by the school lunch program.
Okay.
To have a local wellness policy so that make sure that our school lunch and any school celebrations are meeting the criteria that we need to keep everybody healthy.
Excellent.
And looking over I Love policies. And so I have a new subcommittee this year, now that we have a new chair, and I'll be looking over all of our policies, making sure they're up to date, and making sure that they're really serving all of our students and our teachers.
That's fantastic.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And then the Education Foundation, we have a couple events coming up. We have the purse raffle, the winter raffle just ended. We have the Gourmet Gala coming up this in March. You can see that on our website. That's the first time we're doing that. And what else?
So this is the Education Foundation. Didn't you guys just receive some kind of a grant?
Yes, for social emotional learning.
That's
and-
right.
Yes, for the middle schools. That was actually a really important part of it, because a lot of people forget about the middle schools. We focus a lot on the elementary, we focus a lot on the high school, which is so important, but middle school is tough.
Yeah, no, it
And
is.
so it was a really great, everybody came together and worked on this grant and picked, something that really spoke to them, and that was what we did. So you'll be looking forward to that as well.
Fantastic. You're getting the phone to ring.
I know,
So,
we've had some phone calls coming in. Nice work.
Maybe I said
think I want
something
to
wrong, I
keep
don't know.
Colleen up here for a while because the phone's been ringing more since she's been up here. That's
Excellent.
wonderful. So if you want to encourage others to call in to donate to Woburn Council of Social Concern, how would they do that?
You want to dial 781-995-4878, sorry, 4178. So 781-995-4178. And I can hop on the phones for a while if people need me to. I don't know if they're going to be off the hook like they have been.
And don't forget about the QR code. You can just scan that with your camera, and
So
it'll
simple.
take you right to our
Very
right to our
technologically
donation.
advanced this year, Jim.
That's right. Absolutely. We're keeping it up. Great. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Colleen.
you.
Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, Jim, I think we got another guest here already.
Yeah,
in the
next
queue.
up we have City Councilor at Large, Robert Ferrulo. How are you? How are you, my friend?
Chief, how are you? Good to see you.
We can still call you Chief, right?
I call him Chief. I would never call him anything else. He hasn't slowed down at all, I don't think, right? What have you been up to? Why don't you just fill us in? It's been a little while since we've seen you in person, but why don't you tell us?
Commitment to the city. I mean, that's why I ran
Right.
for city council, because I wasn't done after I retired from being the police chief. And I'm fortunate enough to, I joined the Baker-Polito administration shortly after I retired, where I'm overseeing police reform for the Commonwealth.
That's great.
I'm running all police training, police policy, and I've been asked to stay on by the Haley Driscoll administration. So
Oh, that's
that
great
keeps me
news.
going.
Yeah, you're the executive director at the
Training. I
at the
oversee all
training
police
facility.
training for
Yeah,
the state.
That's amazing.
18 police academies, 23,000 police officers.
Wow.
I can't think of anyone better
Yeah,
for that job, let
absolutely.
me tell you.
There's an ace in its place.
Right, exactly.
My
Right there.
wife's not too happy about it. We'll go from there.
Well, this is supposed to be retirement, right?
No, it is, but I love what I do, and I love what I did. 38 years with the city of Woburn. It was just time, and tremendous successor. We're Chief Rufo. He and I worked together for our entire careers, and we've been fortunate enough to. He stepped right in, and we're off.
That
and
was a
running.
city councilor as opposed to police chief. Obviously, you have a little bit of a different perspective. How do you see the Council of Social Concern helping the citizens?
Well, I mean, I've always been committed to social concern. I go back to when we used to deliver the turkeys instead of having them
Sure.
picked up, and I used to take my children out of school, and I'd take them with me to see what Woburn was all about. And I loved it, and we had police officers volunteer to do it. It was a tremendous event, and I'm committed to that still. And I'm fortunate to sit on the board of Social Concern, which is the ability to give back. My intent was to be retired and volunteer and get really involved. My part-time gig sort of derailed that, but I'm still committed to social concern and the opportunity to support the community I love.
Chief, you were talking about the Thanksgiving drive and the turkeys they deliver. I mean, to see that event grow and how it is now, we get over 400 baskets typically given out in Woburn and Winchester. And to see the community come together on that day at the American Legion, dropping off baskets, picking up baskets, frozen turkeys being delivered and everything. It is amazing to see. I mean, you've been down there, right? Maybe put it into words what you've seen when you've been down there.
Well, I
for
mean,
that event.
Woburns a growing community,
Right.
and we're fortunate. that we come together as a community. The people in need, and we need to support these people. You know, the tremendous, the school lunch program, but the bigger thing is that holidays, we're fortunate that we have what we do. And, you know, the opportunity to give the toy drive, at Christmas time. You know, my wife and I are committed to that. We adopt families through the Harold Wyman Elementary School, where we take care of 2 families every Christmas. But it's just to give back to the community that I was so fortunate enough to serve for my entire adult life.
Well, you certainly lead by example. There's no question about that. And we appreciate all you do for the council. And, you know, as you mentioned, I think the council fills a void where, you know, government necessarily can't do it. We're not equipped to do it in government. And certainly, you know, holiday season when we're giving out those baskets, or just the food pantry open, you know, weekly, certainly does that. So we appreciate all you do for the council. And sitting on the board, I know you don't have much free time, but
No,
you know,
but
we
it's
appreciate your
important to me.
insights, and you know, serving the community as long as you do, you know it better than anyone. And it's great to have you as a board member and guiding the agency.
The thing I wanted to mention is the McDonald's down on Montvale Ave just got redone, and one of the things that they did is they made some contributions to different groups in the city, and one is they made a $2,500 donation to the police department. They in turn turned that around, and they're giving that to the Council of Social Concern. So that I saw that in the news. I just wanted to make mention of that. So that was fantastic.
It's tremendous. Great opportunity.
Wonderful.
On behalf of my wife,
I love
and
my white
family,
envelopes.
But thank you for all you do, and great to be part of your team.
Thank you,
I
Chief.
appreciate
You
it.
know, again this year it's good to see you and good to have you on.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks,
Good to
Rich.
see you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, up next we have Jess Dancing performing Fireman.
All right, let's see it.
Weezy, baby. No shirt, tattoo, just some wall wounds. I'm hot in the carpool. Sheet wet, that's a carpool. Been in that water since a young and you shark food. Quick draw, I went to art school. Yeah, lights bright, but I got sharp views. Dumb snooze, been handling the game so long, my thumbs are bruised. You new brown prints, old news. You ain't got enough green, and you so blue. Giving cash money, breakfast where dreams come true. Everything is easy when we leave it up to easy. When we put it in a pot, then it's steam, let it grow. Now watch me melt, don't burn yourself, myself, well, really not really. So happy in the trunk, make the car pop away. Oh, we see baby, you call me young baby. No money 360, you only 180. Well, the game too lazy, still sleeping on me. What? I'm about to play, yeah, I'm about to take them to the waters and paper. It's hot down here, take a walk and say, come on, mama, let the car to make you. Touch it like a fruit salad, strawberry grape, yeah. They ball when they can, and I'm balling by nature. Addicted to the game, like Jordan Payton. Killing the racing, I'm at the finish line. Been running for too long, it's time to give me mine. Straight out your chimney, and your living room is hot. Beast, allergic to winter time.
Well, nice to have you in the studio today, helping out the Council of Social Concern. This is my 14th year. I'm back every year in a different capacity. Sometimes they have me host, sometimes they have me cook, sometimes they have me clean up after this whole event is over. But today, and only today, we're going to be doing a couple of recipes. One of them is a portobello chili, and the other one is my version of Mediterranean pasta. So why don't we get started with the chili first. We need a pot, and we need a couple of onions diced. Do not be alarmed by the balloons to each side of me. They will not go rogue, I promise you. So we just want a couple of onions. Basically, I'm not really going to measure anything in this recipe. If you have seen the Easy Gourmet, pretty much just eyeball everything. But we want to get this going. Get our pot a little warm. A little bit of olive oil. If you don't have olive oil, any oil will do. So that's about 2 or 3 tablespoons. And just dice up your onion. And we toss that into our pot. And it's already sizzling. And we're going to do another onion also. Basically, this recipe, you get about 6 or 7 servings. Can always increase, can always decrease. Just let me get something to stir this. I hope we don't set off any alarms today. How are we doing? Very good. Maybe just a little bit more oil. So I don't want things to burn in there. And these don't have to really be exact. I mean, this is a chili. It's all going to cook down. A friend of mine and myself came up with this recipe for an alternative to meat chili and actually won an award. So whether or not I can recreate that in today's studio, I don't know. But we have a couple of cloves of garlic. Just smash those. We don't necessarily need them cut up really small because I don't want them to burn. So just kind of smash that to release the oils. I'm going to be using 3 cloves of garlic. Keep things moving in here. You can see that. The camera can pick that up. And I think I have one more. And that is 3. So we got that sauteing very nicely. And what else do we have? Just want to refer to my cheat notes here, even though I've made this 15 times. I have a little bit of ground coriander, a little bit of cumin, and a little bit of chili powder. But I want to get our vegetables, our onions and our garlic softened somewhat. So while that's sauteing, we're going to be adding 3 cans of drained black beans, some tomato paste, a whole can, and refried beans. These are vegetarian refried beans. Some of them have beef broth in them. This doesn't have anything like that. It just has vegetable broth. They're cooked down with a vegetable broth to keep it vegetarian. So I'm just going to open this up. And I'm not sure if you're all familiar with refried, but it's kind of a thick paste. We're going to be using the moisture that's in there along with the bean. And we have our black beans. We do not want them rinsed, we just want them drained. And I did bring a mesh filter with me, a mesh. Okay. So that's one. How are we doing here? Even though this is smoking, nothing's burning. And 3. Just check the bottom to make sure we got all the beans out of here. Okay. So let this drain for a few seconds. So now we have our spices. We're going to use a healthy tablespoon. I think it's a tablespoon. 2 tablespoons of cumin right into the oil. I'm just eyeballing this. Tablespoon of chili powder. And I want that right into the oil to kind of bloom those spices. And a little bit of coriander. Again, for those of you who don't know the phone number, if it's not posted right now, to make a donation to the Council of Social Concern, it's 781-995-4178. So I want to stir those spices up. And I want to add my tomato paste. 1 whole can of tomato paste. And I want to cook this just slightly. So to kind of get that rawness out of it. Okay, get rid of that and stir that up a little. Oh, I don't know if anybody can smell this, but it smells awfully good. Just throw our beans in. Make sure they're drained. And do we need to go? We need to toss back to our hosts, or do we have? Do we want to do that? Okay, that's a yes? Yes, we're going to toss it back to our hosts.
Hey folks, welcome back. Up next, we have a quick message from the president of the Club of Social Concern.
Hey, I'm Johan Engineer, and I'm one of the co-presidents of the high school's Council of Social Concern group. We just wanted to say what's up on behalf of me and Sophie and the whole rest of the kids at the high school. Just wanted to say what's up, show our support for the telethon. You know, some of the stuff that we do is we just try to help out in and around our community. It's like we did Thanksgiving baskets. Recently, we've been trying to help out with the teachers, show our support for them, and honestly, just wanted to also show our support for the telethon. It's a shame we couldn't be there, but, you know, it is what it is. Just want to say what's up. Thanks.
All right, hey, thank you, Johan, and thank you for the Club of Social Concern at Woburn Memorial High School for all that you folks do. Next up, we have our next guest, State Representative Michael Day. Mike, come on up. Good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you as well.
Thank you for coming on again.
Richard,
Thanks for coming.
Great to see you as well. Always
good
happy
here,
to be back. I'm surprised you haven't attacked that table yet.
I'm kind of going stage right. I got to be honest. You
Jim
might
with the
see me
drill
start
rag.
drifting.
Tagging him
might
down
go
with that
there.
drool coming up. It's a good sign.
We have a good chef with us today. I can't wait to start sampling some of
Smells
his.
terrific.
Very good, Vinny. How are things up at the State House, Mike?
Things are great. We just started our next term, so we had the inaugural ceremonies for our new colleagues as well as myself getting sworn back in, and the governor. So a lot of pomp and circumstance up there, but but good stuff. We're up and running now, and legislation's being filed. We'll get down to business.
Have they decided what committees you're going to be on this year?
No, that'll be coming in the next few weeks. We just
Okay.
finished the rules debate now, and then the committee assignments will flow after that.
Excellent, because I know that you had been serving it. You chaired the Judiciary Committee.
Judiciary, yeah, a little busy.
Pretty impressive.
A little busy. It was good. Any issue that was kind of hot button ended up in my committee. So for
Excellent.
better or worse, we were
Excellent.
dealing with those.
So, lifelong, not lifelong, but you were born and raised in Woburn. Familiar with the council and its
Tanner
work?
blood.
Tanner blood. We don't, we don't always say that when we're in Winchester, but especially at the football game. But
I was told when I was campaigning, tamp that down when you get to Winchester.
but you've seen the city, you've seen what the council does. What does it mean to you?
Council's huge. It's always has been. And this telethon's a great tribute to it. Hopefully folks are watching and donating as well, particularly this year where we just went through this bitter cold and we're looking at rising electricity costs and home heating costs and folks suffering with inflation coming through as well. We're trying to do our bit on the state level, but certainly the council does an inordinate amount in our communities here for those who are the most in need and the most dire, fills in that safety net that other programs can't necessarily do.
And the need never goes away. It's always there, so and we always have to be. We're always here. This is our 14th year doing the telethon, continuing to raise money. And if we didn't have something like the Woburn Council Social Concern, there would be a massive hole that we would have to fill. Right?
Oh, without a doubt, a huge hole. I mean, from the state level, we're incredibly thankful and express gratitude all the time for the work that the council does. As I said, we can't fill all the gaps for social need. The council steps in and does that for us.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. And Jim, I don't know if you're aware, but State Rep Day is also a cook in his own right. And he's famous for his Sunday brunches in the Day household. And I'm happy he was able to pull away today. But not only is it about
Three
cooking.
boys. It's just shoveling food out the door is all it is.
It's not quality, it's kind of quantity
right.
at that point.
That's right.
But not only that, you give your kids music lessons of, different artists every week. And,
yeah, they have to suffer through my musical taste. So I introduce them to different bands and musical stylings. And my wife heads for the hills when it comes on.
And what was today's lesson?
Today was Etta James.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, we went right down back to that.
choice.
We had the Radio Kings last week.
Wow.
With Brian Templeton from Woburn, so we make sure we keep the local
They're
stuff flying
getting
as well.
they're getting a really good education.
Yeah,
That's
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they agree with you.
Well, I think that they will come to appreciate it as they get as they get older. That's great stuff.
It's great to see it. And don't forget our QR code, right? If you want to help the mission that Rep Day's talking about, you can just click on your screen and follow that QR code to make a donation or call our phone number. Maybe tell our viewers at home what the phone number is.
Yep, 781-995-4178. I heard one of the phones ring. Let's make sure they keep ringing, and I want to make sure I give a check as well.
Excellent.
To the council.
appreciate
So we
that.
appreciate all the work
We
you're doing,
appreciate that very much.
and look forward to continuing to partner with you all as we go forward.
Right,
Thank you very
Representative
much.
Day, thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on again today. And
Thanks for stopping by. Always good to see you.
Always a pleasure, Rich.
Good to see you.
Wonderful.
Thanks very
Thank
much.
you.
Take care.
Man, it's really starting to smell good in here. I
I
don't know how long I
tell
can
you.
hold out here in this side of the studio. I might have to go see Vinny in a little
It's
bit.
12:30. I haven't had lunch yet, and it's going to be so. Vinny, we're going to attack you pretty soon. Our next guest from the Council of Aging, we have its director, Marie Lindblom. Marie, how are you?
Very
good. How are
Good
you?
to see you again. Come
Thank
on
you for
in.
coming over.
Thank
Look,
you.
we
Thank
have,
you.
We have a rose between two thorns here.
Exactly, right?
How are things over at the Senior Center?
Going very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going very well. We've got some new pickleball courts.
Oh.
So some different energy outdoor recreation.
Pickleball. This seems to be something that's come out of nowhere. What is pickleball?
It's a cross between it's like ping pong.
Okay.
A cross between ping pong and tennis. So it's a little the courts are set up a little bit smaller. The nets aren't quite as high.
Okay.
You play with a lighter ball, like a plastic balls, smaller, lighter.
Paddle.
Thank you, paddles.
It's all the rage right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
it's great that you're able to implement that. It's
Yeah.
a great program.
Yeah.
It's very social.
Yeah.
People love it. So it's fantastic that you're able to implement that.
They've
here
been
in the
out
city.
there. I don't know about the last couple of days, but they're out there in all kinds of weather too. Believe me.
That's absolutely correct.
Well, it's warming up again today, so
Yeah,
we're-
it's good today.
We've got some of that cold weather behind us now.
I'm sure they're out there.
There was a new program that just happened this past year. It's called the Grab and Go.
The grab
That
and
was
go.
pretty successful. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah. So it happened during the pandemic. So
Okay.
people trying to get out to supermarkets. Seniors were afraid. It's sort of some things that we couldn't host as we usually did, so are you talking about the mayor's,
Sure,
the
yes,
senior dinner?
yes.
So that was about 900 seniors.
Wow.
So that was the annual Mayor's Senior Appreciation Dinner that would have here at the high school.
Okay.
But we couldn't have it in person, and the numbers just seemed to keep kicking up. So we dreamt up a meal with Harrow's Pie, Table Talk, pitched in, the mayor, all businesses across the city. That's how it's funded. I mean, it started a long time ago. I don't know if it's 50
Wow.
years or
Okay.
whatever. But so 900 people signed up. I think they like the Harrow's Pies.
Apparently, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
so
That
people
sounds
yeah,
really
signed up,
successful.
Yeah.
That's
so
wonderful.
it was really
Great.
successful. Yeah,
Great
we're
stuff.
hoping we can be back in person next year, but we'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
So a little known fact, but the Council of Social Concern, started senior programming when it was first in existence, and then it bloomed into the Woburn Senior Center.
That's right.
Which is vibrant and continues on the mission that the council started several decades ago at this point.
That's right.
And speak to the importance of the council and what you do and over at the Senior Center.
So we have some vans that pick folks up for programming every day, curb-to-curb service, handicap vans. We have brought people to the food pantry. We've done some deliveries at times when people had no other way to go and get their food. We let people know about that, so we've worked hand in hand with the Council of Social Concern, particularly when it comes to the food pantry and supplementing, what they had. And again, also during the pandemic, it was people who were home who had COVID. Right. So we had the vans deliver from the food pantry to people's homes and partnered with them. I don't think a lot of people kind of know that we had that partnership throughout that because, how would they know?
Exactly, and
Yeah.
it's difficult for the seniors to get out sometimes, and
Yeah.
They really need that extra hand.
Yeah, we have the vans, and we also have a discount taxi program, so it's subsidized by the city. And we have a relationship with Checker Cab of Woburn, and so we also offer discounted taxi vouchers, and people go to the food pantry for that. The food pantry is a big deal for seniors.
Just another great example, Jim, of a collaboration, right? What we were talking about before, another great collaboration,
Yeah.
using your resources and the council's resources
Yep.
to meet the needs of those of our most vulnerable citizens in the
Absolutely.
city. It's
Again,
fantastic.
neighbors helping neighbors.
I know, it's just
Absolutely.
another example, fantastic.
Yeah.
So we love
And you're
it.
right down the street.
Yeah, exactly. Short drive, right?
Right.
So that's
All right,
great. Well,
very good. Marie, thank you for coming on. If people want to call in with a pledge, what would be the number that they'd call?
781-995-4178.
thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Thank you, Marie.
Thank
Good to
you.
see you. Thanks for
Thanks
coming.
for your
Thank you.
support.
Thank you.
So again, continuing on with our tributes to Mary Lang, who was so instrumental in getting this telethon started 14 years ago, in memory of Dawn. Dawn, kind of before Mary's time, but a pillar in this
Yeah.
community and a pillar to this agency, and Mary kind of built off of his legacy, Mary and Dean, to get us where we're at today. And such a tragic loss to lose Mary last year, but I know there were many people that wanted to do tributes here today. So why don't we take a look at another tribute today?
Very good.
I worked with Mary for over 25 years at the Council of Social Concern, and through that time I have lots of memories. One of my favorite ones is probably the first Halloween float that we did together. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, and it was a lot of work. It was Willy Wonka, and we ended up actually riding on the float. Well, riding on the float in a bed, all comfy under blankets. We were the grandparents of Willy Wonka. So I remember the day was freezing and windy, and we were all bundled up under our blanket. So it was a good experience for us. If I had to come up with one word to describe Mary, I think it would be kind. She was kind to everybody. It didn't matter who it was, clients, donors, board members, staff. She was especially good to me and my kids when they were young, and I appreciated that with her. Mira was such a presence at all of our events. I miss her stopping in my doorway in the morning to say hi. We would talk about kids and grandkids. She was just a really nice person. I'll never forget her kindness and how she was with people. And she was just a genuinely caring, nice, compassionate woman. She did a lot for the agency and the community. And I'll miss her. I miss her terribly.
What can you say about Mary Lang? She was at this agency for over 30 plus years. No one embodied the motto of this agency of neighbors helping neighbors more than Mary Lang. Born and raised in Woburn, devoted her life to this agency, helping those people in the most need in this community. She did all different positions here, and she always did it with a smile. You never heard Mary complain. She was somebody that only looked to better the agency and better those people we serve. My favorite memory of Mary is usually seeing her at the golf tournament. She seemed to love that event, maybe because it was outdoors or just she was secretly in love with golf, not really sure. But she really enjoyed the time at the golf tournament, and she always worked so hard with the auction, the telethon, and really trying to raise as much money so this agency could thrive. And we're going to miss her terribly, but we're going to find a great way to honor her in some way, somehow, because that's what she deserves. She was the heart and soul of this agency, along with Dean, for so long, and it's just truly tragic that she's no longer with us, and we miss her every day.
I'm especially honored to be here today to let you know what Mary Lang meant to me. Mary, 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 what to say about Mary? There are so many things, there are so many adjectives like dedication, kindness, caring, the willingness to do, the willingness to help, the love of her family, and I actually would run out of adjectives if I kept on going about Mary. Personally, I know Mary through Rotary, and she was a president after me and did an excellent job. I'm not sure of the date. It was probably 3 years ago. An excellent, excellent job leading our club for a year. She was always willing to help me when I was president. And one situation, I remember I had to clean out this closet, and she said, "Come on, let's go." And it took us 23 minutes and put everything back, and it was all organized. And I gave her a hug, and I said, "Mary, you're just so awesome." So Mary meant a lot to me personally. I have her in my heart, and I will always remember her as someone that loved me, and I loved her. It was just that special. And I appreciate her friendship and her relationship with me. And I wish her family peace and happiness in knowing that Mary meant this to many, many other people. Thank you.
I worked with Mary for 16 years. 14 of those years, I worked under her as her assistant, although Mary never really liked me to call her my boss. When I would introduce her to somebody, she hated that term, but she became more of a friend and a confidant than a boss, and she was well-known and well-liked throughout the community. She never got mad. She never had a bad day, really, even if she was going through the fundraising events and we were in the midst of doing auction planning. She always was calm. And then one day we worked late into the evening, and she said to me, "I'm sorry I was so cranky today." And I looked at her and I said, "Mary, that's cranky? Like, if that's cranky, you're okay." So she never had a bad day. One funny story, when Mary and I were out collecting items for the auction, we stopped for lunch, and we had lunch, and then we went out and we got into my car, and I turned the key and it wouldn't go on. And I said to Mary, "Uh-oh." And she looked around and she said, "We are not in your car." And we got in the wrong car together, and that was a funny story for Mary. All that aside, Mary's favorite role was that of being a yaya to her grandchildren. She liked to spoil her grandchildren, not with things so much as her time. And she liked to pass down to them all of her Greek traditions and cooking, and they have a lot of memories with her. Mary will be missed by all that knew her. I was fortunate enough to know her for many, many years, and she is sorely missed, and she was a friend to all.
Hello, I'm Dean Solomon, former Executive Director of the Council of Social Concern. First of all, I'd like to express again my condolences to Mary's family on their loss. It was a privilege to work with Mary for close to 35 years. She was a dedicated employee of the agency. She was also very dedicated to the community and to her family. She worked hard. She moved up through the ranks at CSC. She showed her dedication in every position that she held. She was well liked and she was well respected in the community. She was able to attract many volunteers and donors during her time as director of the food pantry and director of public relations and development. She cared deeply for the local community and for those she served. She was a quick learner. I could always trust her to do an excellent job. During her time at the agency, we had many talks on family and on retirement and how important her family was to her. Her loss leaves a void with all of us. May her memory serve as a blessing and an inspiration for us all. And may God bless and watch over her husband, her children, and her grandchildren. Thank you.
Hey folks, we're back, and I'm over at the phone bank here with a couple of our volunteers that are answering the phone today. I'm joined by Kim Palillo, who is on the board of directors for the Council of Social Concern, and Jessica Ben-Cosme, the new executive director for the Council of Social Concern. How is it going, ladies?
It's going well. Yes, thank you. The phones have been ringing, so that's good.
How do we get those phones to ring?
So you call the number 781-995-4178.
Excellent. And Kim, you're on the board. How long have you been involved with the association?
I've been on the board for 4 years.
Okay. Excellent. And I did want to announce one pledge that we got today. Colleen Cormier was very generous with their donation of $1,000 to the council. So we're really thrilled about that. But we need these phones to ring. We need to keep our people busy answering these phones and to have these donations to keep rolling in. I'm going to toss it back to Rich, and we're on.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, everyone, for volunteering today and getting those phones to ring. We have another guest with us today. I'm going to bring out Jeff Dillon, Councilor Ward 3. Come on out, Jeff. Jeff comes on out here. Smelling pretty good in here, huh, Jeff?
Hey, good afternoon. It smells great.
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on today, and Jim's stepping in as well. What's up in Ward 3 these days?
Ward 3 is busy. We're getting ready to do the Herald Park. We have over $3 million in the bank from the federal government that a lot of people worked real hard to get us. And we're also getting ready to get the Plimpton School, that knocked down and that park done. So we have a lot going on and a lot of constituent services just following up, helping people out, but it's going well.
That's great.
Jeff, what's going to be specific about the new Herald Park?
Yeah, it's an ecology park. What that means is it's going to help with hotter summers that we seem to be having recently, though with last couple days of events, that seems like the weather's not always going to be that hot. So what they're going to go is come in there and keep it all in its natural state, some walking trails, open up the stream, reclaim the wetland, and not only for a nice recreational area, but also for the environment as well.
Be a nice educational opportunity,
Absolutely.
too, for the students here in Woburn.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, February 15th, we're having a Zoom meeting that you can go right in the recreational department, get that connection, and we look forward to all the people's ideas and give you 2 cents, because now's your chance.
Sounds fantastic. Going to be something different for the city, something that helps the environment, something different that people can experience. You can go to the different parks, and it sounds wonderful. It's a wonderful addition to the city.
Absolutely. And of course, thank you, Council of Social Concern, does such great work. so many different aspects, great part of our community, and so many people benefit from it. So thank you for the
Do
good
you
work.
ever have people reaching out to you for different things, and you're able to direct them to the resources that the council has?
All the time.
Sure.
Yeah, all the time. Different people with different situations, whatever may come up, and they're always there, willing to help. And as I say, it's just a great part of our community, part of the many different organizations that make our community great.
That's great.
That's great. You're making the phones ring here, Jeff. I'm going to
Good.
keep you on
Well,
all day.
Let me tell you, dig deep and let's get this thing going for everybody.
I appreciate
All right,
that.
so if people want to donate today, how can they do that?
Sure, donate to.
There's a phone number to call.
We have the phone number right there. Let's get on the stick and let's get calling. Let's help these folks out. 781-995-4178. Let's get it going. Ward 3, show us your love for us. Come on.
That's right, Ward 3,
There you
folks.
go.
Thank you,
There's a
Jeff.
challenge.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can take the microphone
Okay.
back that way
Thank
with
you,
you.
guys.
Thanks
Thank you,
for
my
coming
friend.
on, Jeff. Good
Thank
to see you. And Jim, one other way to donate too, if you don't want to call, if you want to just go online, you can go to socialconcern.org and donate that way as well. They get counted as a telethon as well. So 2 different ways to donate. You can click that QR code as well.
QR code.
If you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on public access TV, you can certainly click that code and it will take you right to the website to
Just
donate
open
as
up
well.
the camera on your phone, point it at it, and it'll click right in.
High tech.
Fantastic. Boy, we're well into the 21st century here. Okay, we have our next guest today, Ward 7 City Councilor Charles Viola in Crutch. Charles, how are you today?
Good. How are you, Jim?
Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
How are things in Ward 7?
Ward 7 right now is pretty quiet for the most part.
Okay. We'd like to see it that
Yes,
way.
absolutely. We definitely do. We definitely do.
All right.
What we just had Jeff on. He was talking about the calls that he gets and direct people to the council. Do you have a similar experience as a
Yes,
councilor?
I've had numerous people call, and where I've referred them to call the social concern to get advice or whatever else that they need.
That's great. So it's kind of like an agency that can fill in the gaps where government necessarily doesn't have the resources to do that.
Correct.
Is that fair to say?
Yep, that's fair to say.
Great. Well, we appreciate you coming on today. It smells pretty good in here, huh?
It does. Smells very good.
Yeah.
Now,
did you have lunch before you came?
No, I didn't.
You stick around for the
Did you
food to be
stick
ready?
around for
I
the-
might
for
have
the-
to. I might have to.
Is this your first term on the council?
This is, yes.
All right. So how's that going for you? Is it
going-
what you expected it to be?
It is. It's going very well. Just recently, I was able to get $1.2 million from the infrastructure improvement funds from the federal government from
This is what we like to hear.
Congresswoman Catherine Clark
Okay.
to fix the issues with the traffic and redesign the Bedford Road, Cambridge Road intersection.
Oh, okay.
And that's also
Much
on
needed.
the TIP program for the state Mass DOT. So within the next, I would say, 5 years, that whole area will be reconfigured and redesigned.
Wow, yeah, that is a very busy intersection. I go through that every single
Right?
day,
Oh,
and it's
Yep.
good to hear that it's going to be getting some love, and
Yes.
that you're helping to bring home the money to get that done.
Definitely.
That's good stuff.
That's good. Are you enjoying your time on the council?
I am, yes. Yep.
That's
I
great.
enjoy helping out the residents and the people of Woburn.
Good.
So we want to see Ward 7 calling in to make some donations.
Yep.
How would they do that?
Well, if you're in Ward 7, you can call in at 781-995-4178. Again, 781-995-4178. Let's hear those phones ring.
Oh, we
All right.
appreciate the plug. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
Thanks
very
for coming
much.
on today.
And I'd also like to give you guys a check.
All right,
Thank you
Charles,
very
thank
much.
you very
You're
much.
welcome.
We appreciate that in your continued service to the city.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we're rolling now, Jim.
All right, we are. We have our next guest. We have City Councilor at Large, Michael Concanon. Welcome aboard, Mike. Good to see you
How are you?
again.
Good to see
Good
you.
to see you.
No stranger to this venue. Even
Happy
though
to be back.
It's been a few years since we've been live. I think the last time we were live was what 2020 before the
2020.
before the world fell apart.
Right.
Exactly.
But it's good to be back here. It's good to be showing support and raising money for the council.
Very important cause.
How's things on the city council?
Things are going well. You're meeting a few of my peers here now. They're each handling the wards very well.
Yeah.
It's a busy time in the city. There's a lot of development. There's a lot of issues, but I think we're working well as a team on the council to navigate those issues and to assist the residents. And I think the city of Woburn is in a good spot right now. There's always a challenge, as we know.
Of course.
But we'll get through it, because this is Woburn, and we come together and come out stronger on the
It's like
other end.
we want to have the best people doing those jobs to meet those challenges.
Yep.
Right?
We have a great team here in Woburn, obviously not just on the council, but throughout the city. No better place to live than Woburn, and what we're doing here right now is a great example of that.
So what effect have you seen the Council of Social Concern having on the city?
No, it's a tremendous impact. It's a great resource for folks. You know, there's there's certainly a role for government and, you know, assisting people, but something like this is down to the roots.
Yeah.
This is where people can go for the most basic needs, and I know the support that the community has for the council. Anytime there's a need, everyone steps up, and I'm sure they're going to do that today. You know, obviously, we need these phones to ring. I don't hear them ringing right now, so I'm asking folks, please call the number 781-995-4178. Do what you can to support this great cause. There is definitely a need. We know that.
And it never goes away.
It never does, and, you know, this is a critical part of our community team, and it needs to be supported. So I urge everyone to step up.
Absolutely, and we're so
Excellent.
fortunate to have all of our guests come down today and join us today and really plug the agency.
And I know that there's a couple of counselors who wanted to be here. Personal commitments came up.
Sure.
They send their best wishes, and they send their 100% support of your cause. So know that the entire council is behind you.
We appreciate that. That's
Always great to
fantastic.
hear.
Happy to help.
Wonderful.
So-
Thank you, Michael, for coming on.
You too, Jim.
Oh, you're reaching in your
I
pocket.
do.
That always means something
I'm going to
good.
challenge folks to do what you can, however much you can. Please step up and help this great organization help our community. So,
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
that.
much.
All right,
Accept the
thank you.
All right,
challenge.
wonderful.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
All right, this is fantastic. Next up, we're going to have a performance by the Woburn Memorial High School step team. Oh, I'm sorry. We have a guest. I got to duck down a
Lou
little
DeMambro,
bit.
another city councilor.
Lou, I didn't
Ward.
see ya.
I guess
Hey,
I'm
Lou.
a dancer, right?
How are you?
You can dance, right?
Hey.
Go ahead.
I thought I was going to be part of the cooking show.
You're City Councilor Ward 6.
Ward 6, yes, sir.
What's going on in Ward 6 these days?
There's a lot of going on in Ward 6. We've got the bridge being constructed. We broke ground on that. There's a lot of industry going
Which
in.
bridge is that? Is that the new
Boston Street.
Boston Street Bridge?
That's been...
That's a long time coming.
45 years in waiting. Wow. So we're very excited. That's going to be able to help a lot of the traffic issues up there in North Woburn and alleviate a lot of that. So
It's going to really open up that section of the city
it's
and
definitely
give
gonna open up
access
that
to the
whole
transit.
section.
Yeah,
Perfect. It's going to open it up to, you know, MBTA. It's going to open it up to new businesses that are just begging. They're begging to come in that area.
Sure.
One, because of the MBTA running through there. Plus 93, 128. It's just. Plus we have the Woburn Village with, you know, all the restaurants and shops down there. It's an exciting time. I call it the 50-year flip, I guess you could say. It's like a 50-year flip up in North Woburn, where those buildings were built probably about 50 years ago, and here it is now. New technology, new businesses, they're thriving, and they want to be in Woburn.
There's a lot of housing going in up there as well.
There are a lot of apartments going in. There's housing, affordable housing, nonetheless. But as well as properties are being purchased, houses are being remodeled, houses are being rebuilt, torn down, built. It's exciting. North Woburn, it's booming. It's no longer just the dump. The dump is gone.
It's great to hear. It has changed very positively over the time that I've been involved in the city. That's wonderful.
And we have the social concern in Ward 6.
Yep.
We also have the senior center. Big shout out to them. Yep. These are great resources for the people of Woburn and surrounding towns. And I urge people to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
There's so many people that don't understand what social concern is all about, what they do, what they offer. The programs, the information that they can give to people.
So it's not just the food pantry.
It's not just the food pantry.
Child care and services and these types of things.
There's all kinds of things that they can provide information-wise, especially even the senior center to the seniors. And also up in the senior center, you know, a shout out to the VA, the Veterans Administration. That's at the senior center up on School Street.
Yep.
Another, you know, hidden resource that veterans should be taken advantage of, and I strongly recommend it. And I also strongly recommend Ward 6, 781-995-4178.
Let's get those phones to ring.
Dig deep.
Well said.
Well, I appreciate it. I
thank you
appreciate
so much
everything.
for coming
And
on
appreciate
today.
the
giving
I
us
did
a
hear
little
the phone
time.
ring. I think people got excited if you were going to dance or not. So.
Oh, well, it's probably the wife going, come home. It's dinner's on the table. Thank you, gentlemen.
Hey, thank you for
very
coming
much.
on
Good to see
today
ya.
and for your continued support.
All right, now we're going to get to some dancing. Jim.
Excellent.
So rather than you and I dance, we're going to turn it over to the Woburn Memorial High School step team.
Hey, folks, and we are back. Some pretty talented dancers there.
Much more talented than me.
So we have some more guests coming on. Who's up next, Rich?
We have Sheila McElhaney. Sheila, come on out.
Sheila is a friend of the Council of Social Concern, a longtime friend.
Longtime friend.
Not only to the council, but to all of us as well.
Come on,
Come
thank
on in,
you.
Sheila.
Don't
What
be
a
bashful.
pleasure. What a pleasure.
Great to see you
So
again.
good to see you as well. My pleasure. It's wonderful
you,
to see you
Sheila.
both. Thank you. It's
good to see
Thank you for having me.
How are things with you and the family?
Things are great. God willing, my son graduates from law school in May, and we'll see how all that goes.
Wow.
But so
Time
far,
has
so good.
flown.
Too fast. Too fast.
He just graduated from high school last year, didn't
It
he?
seems like that.
Seems
It's all
like
a blink.
it.
But really, I'm here to thank the Council of Social Concern, really for all the work you do. And I do have a small donation in memory of my husband, Jack, who was very, involved years ago. And this council just does so much good work, and especially in the times that we're living in, which obviously are very challenging. And I know myself, I've referred people to the council when they've called me for help, and I say, gee, maybe I can't personally do something, but I know someone who can. And I know you've helped in so many ways, and that really is just a wonderful feeling to be able to have a place where people will be taken care of, for very basic needs, and the need is just greater now, obviously with the challenging times we're living in, but this is a wonderful safety net. So we're very fortunate here in Woburn to have that, and to have the council continue the good work of neighbors helping neighbors, and that's really what it's all about.
Well, we appreciate the kind words, Sheila, as always. But Jack and Don,
Don Manzelli,
yeah,
I know.
who's this named after. Certainly, we're the pillars that got the social concern their jump that they needed in their building, and going forward that way. So
well, it was really a labor of love, and it takes a team effort certainly to continue that and continue the wonderful groundwork that was done, and you're all doing that. So it's just a wonderful thing to see.
Yep.
And I'd just like to take a minute to acknowledge Mary Lang, a good friend, and being here without her, is certainly different, needless to say. But Mary actually was a classmate of Jack's back in high school, and I don't need to tell the people here how wonderful she was and how much she's missed.
Yeah,
Sitting here on the stage, I'm used to seeing Mary on the other side of the camera over here, and I just miss her.
I know.
And speaking of Jack, I mean, he was very involved with the council, and he actually got me involved with the council as well as with Rotary and really with the city. And I'll never forget what he meant to me and what he gave to me.
Well, thank
and
you.
he'll certainly be missed. But we have. There's an auction coming up in
There is
his
an
name.
auction, I know it, and that's such a wonderful tribute, and it really means a lot. And I know he'd be very humbled by it, never would have expected that at all, but he always loved doing the auction, and it's just wonderful to have that continue. So I know that's an event that we'll all look forward to, hopefully enjoying, I'm sure, and participating in the not-too-distant future.
Absolutely. Friday, April 28th, I believe, is the date.
I was just going to say, do we have a date for that?
Friday, April 28th.
There you go. So I hope everybody marks their calendars and can attend. And now, hopefully, we're in person this year.
Oh, in person?
In person.
That's always a lot of fun. It's been missed, that's for sure.
Absolutely, Jim. And not only is it in person this year, but they tweaked it a little bit, Sheila. They're going to be playing musical bingo that night.
How
Have you ever played musical bingo?
I have not. I'll look forward to
there we
that.
go.
There we go.
So there's going to be 4 rounds of musical bingo.
Wonderful.
And it'll be auction items in between, live auction items. It'll be
Really?
a silent auction, open bar. I think it's going to start around 6 o'clock.
Oh, sounds wonderful.
So it's going to be a fun event. Certainly.
Where's it being held, Rich?
At the Crown Plaza this year.
Wonderful.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
So we're back at the Crown Plaza. So we're trying to, fill the room.
Sure. Well, come on down, everybody. It's going to be a fun night, and musical bingo. That'll be a first for me, and hopefully a lot of other people as well.
So brush up on your music knowledge, everyone
There you go.
watching at home. And certainly, just another example of, how we can support this agency and the great work they do in the community. You always put it best, Sheila, whenever you're on stage, whenever we hand you a microphone to talk
I never
about
know
the
what I'm going to
agency
say.
and Jack's legacy here, certainly it's a vital part of the community. And the auction, whether it's the auction or telethon, raise much needed funds to support the mission, which is not only the food pantry, but the child care center
so many
as well,
things.
Parenting classes, you name it. Anybody who comes through that food pantry gets counseling to make sure they have the resources they need, whether it's heat, fuel assistance, those types of things. So it's Jack would be so proud, I think. Of the
Oh, I'm
agency at
sure
this
he
point,
is.
right?
I know he is, and you people are doing a wonderful job carrying on. And I'd just like to make a shout out for people to make a call and have those phones ring, 781-995-4178, and hopefully you exceed your goal.
We appreciate that, Sheila. Well, thanks for coming down. Thank you for the donation. We look
Oh,
forward
my
to seeing you in
pleasure.
April at the auction.
Absolutely. And I'll practice and brush up on my music.
Brush up on your music.
Bingo.
Right?
There
That's
you go.
right. Like you can take that with you.
I'll
and
take this with me. Thank
Sheila,
you.
thank you as
Thank
always.
you, too.
All right. Next up, we have board member emeritus. We have Laura Reddick. Come on over, Laura. Oh, and her husband's with her. How are
Hey
you
guys, come on in. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
I thought I was the tall guy now.
Thanks for coming down. How's everything going with you two?
Excellent, great. A little Council of Social Concern success story. Our youngest, who to go through the child care program, graduated college this year and is going to start her job on Monday.
Sheila, why don't
Your child care work is
Laura,
done
why
here.
don't you elaborate on that? Because that is just an amazing story of how you found the council and how you got involved in your daughter.
Well, we moved here in the old-fashioned way, bought a relative's house, and we had one daughter at the time, and we were looking for childcare. So we did the whole, tour everything in town and ask a million questions of everybody. And we're really impressed by the council with, the quality of teaching and the longevity, just the real consistency of the program. So that's where we sent our kids, and our across the street neighbor at the time was working there. And so it was a really nice fit for us. And when the second one came along, there was no infants at the time, so she went into the family child care program to kind of give us that same stability so we could continue working full-time. And, when you trust your children to someone, it's a big deal. So we were thrilled with what we found in the council, and I started serving on the board when they were in child care as sort of a, parent rep, so to speak. And as time went on, I found more and more about what the council did and really support their mission and what they do. So our kids are now grown and we're still here.
Still here.
I know that as long as I've been volunteering with the council, you two have been there, right there, volunteering at events, at the golf tournaments, at this event, at the auction, and you're a mainstay in the organization.
It's neighbors helping neighbors.
But my claim to fame is back in the day, the raffles were an arm length. Well, the minute I walked in the door, people started recruiting me to be their arm length for their raffle tickets. So
it's a good choice by them.
As I like to say, aces in their places. Absolutely.
Well, they changed the rules later because they figured it was a little unfair for me and my family.
But we did want to pass on our support, both personally and from
Thank
Glenn's
you very
company
much.
as well.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you for
Laura.
continued support.
Laura, how many years did you serve actively on the board?
Just under 20 actively on the board.
Fantastic. I mean, a fantastic contribution to the agency. And still, like Jim said, you're always front and center at everything we do here today, here with the donation. We very much appreciate it and love the story that your daughter's now graduated from college and, her legacy began all the way back in our services. So it's
one of the
wonderful
very
story.
few named as an emeritus member of the board of directors.
Exactly.
It's a very small group of folks that can claim that fame.
Exactly.
It's dear to our hearts, for sure. It really is.
It shows.
It's a
Thank you.
fabulous mission.
Well, thank you all for what you do for the council, and we'll
Thank you
hopefully
both.
maybe see you at the auction, maybe for musical
course.
bingo.
Oh,
So
yeah. We don't
brush up on your music bingo as
This
well.
music bingo thing, I know I'm interested.
See, I'm trying to recruit tables. I'm seeing who has the knowledge. That I might want to put at my table. So
Excellent. Don't worry, we'll bring my 90-year-old mother. She
remembers
a
everything.
big night out for her. Too.
Perfect. We love it. So good
She's
to
going
see
to
you.
be calling in too.
That's great. So maybe get the phones ringing. Maybe give everyone at home our phone number.
Yep, it's 781-995-4178, and help your neighbors.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Laura.
Thank you, folks.
Appreciate it. Good to see you,
Good to
Glenn.
see you,
Thanks for
Glenn.
coming by. Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
And again, if you don't want to call in, you can certainly use that QR code that's at on the TV screen to click on that, and it will take you right to our page to donate. Or you can go to socialconcern.org. Any way you want, you can donate. Certainly help the cause here, Jim.
Absolutely. We have another guest coming up, another member of the council's board of directors, Darren Sawicki.
Hi, Darren.
Hello, nice to see you guys.
Good to see
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming on.
you.
You're a new member of the board of directors, right?
Yes, just joined this year.
Great. So what brought you to the council?
Well, I was involved with the social concern many years ago. I was a volunteer at the food pantry.
Okay.
So it just so happens that another board member reached out to me. I used to work with her and asked if I was interested in joining. So
Great.
So I was excited. I work locally at Stone and Bank, so I live here in Woburn. So figured it was an opportunity to get involved again at the council.
Well, talk a little bit about your volunteer experience at the council. What's it like to work there? Take us through it.
Yeah, for many years I worked at Northern Bank and Trust, so I was part of the bank team that we'd go on a weekly basis. So we were active members in the food pantry. So we would rotate each week. Someone would go in for our required shifts, so to speak, and then just worked with all the clients as they came in to pick up their groceries. So it was really a nice, welcoming environment. Clients were well respected. They could come in and it's just like they were grocery shopping on their own. So it was really a good experience. So
That's really important to
yes.
maintain the dignity of it all. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I did it for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So it was really,
Long
you
time
know, it just so
volunteer.
happened that locally, I remember back in the day when Karen ran the food pantry, there was an ad, you know, in the Times looking for volunteers. So I brought it to the bank at the time, and I said, what do we think about getting involved in doing this? So we decided to, you know, move forward with it. We had a group at the bank that would come down and volunteer. So it was really something we all enjoyed very much.
It's quite an operation over there.
Mhm.
Highly organized. You know, you have the big warehouse, and then you have the part where people can go grocery shopping, and it's, you know, it's very personalized, right? It's only one person at a time that's in there. You typically.
Yeah,
so-
usually one or two at the most.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, like I said, it was something that I haven't been doing as much, but I'm glad to be back involved, you know, at the council, at least in the board capacity now. So this is new for me.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you back, especially with your institutional knowledge of being a volunteer for so long. And obviously, you know the mission and what it means to the community and seeing that firsthand as a volunteer. So we appreciate you coming down. We appreciate you volunteering your time on the board, and you know, it'll be great to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. And I just want to mention, too, my son was involved at the high school here, too, for the Club of Social Concern. So that's
wonderful.
Another organization that helps social concern, too. So it's
great, yeah.
it's nice to have that. So if you're looking to make a donation, please give us a call, 781-995-4178.
Fantastic.
And I just wanted to drop a donation
I
myself,
will
too.
take that
so-
donation.
okay.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Darren.
Well,
Thanks for
thank
coming
you.
down. Good to
Thank
see
you
you.
very much. Nice to see you. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
That's great.
Okay. And next we have another guest coming on.
straight
Doesn't
there.
really need much of an introduction,
Nope.
you know, to the city of Woburn, but
Legend.
our good friend Art Duffy. Art, come on up. Art, how are you, my friend?
Art, good to see you. Thanks for coming on. How you been?
Oh, fine. Very, very good. You're busy as usual, but Council of Social Concerns is such a great organization. And the people of Woburn and the communities really enjoy what they do with the number of programs that the council has for all those cities and towns. And it's a great organization. And I'd like to say, as Sheila McElhenney says, we miss Mary Lang, who was president of the Rotary Club for a number of years, as well as very active here, and we really miss her.
As I said at the beginning, really epitomizes service above self, the motto of Rotary, and just always thought about giving without her own interest in mind.
Absolutely,
Absolutely,
absolutely.
All right, it's great to see you as always. You're kind of a fixture at these events. You know, it's been a little while. It's been since 2020 that we've been live in person doing this, but it's great for you to come down. What motivates you to come down here each
Well,
year?
I'm here representing John and Kathy Flaherty. Not only do I appreciate what they do, but John and Kathy Flaherty, as many people know, they're involved in many, many, many things. And one of the most important things that they're involved in is the Council of Social Concern. Every year, they step up to the plate and help out. Great people.
Have always been very generous.
Indispensable people in our community. You know, they do so much for so many organizations in this community. You know, and they, you know, and what they empower people to do is really what the council's all about, right? Neighbors helping neighbors, and no better example of that than John and Kathy Flaherty.
Yeah.
And they don't really want the credit
No.
for it.
They
They don't
want
want to
nothing-
be
no,
here
no.
in that kind of
Exactly.
thing,
No.
which they'll send my friend Art here. Now they're making a donation today.
Yes, they are. John and Kathy Flaherty are making a donation of $10,000.
Wow.
$10,000, folks.
And they're only too happy to do it, and so I'd like you to present this check to you people, as well as a check from my wife Dawn and myself.
Well, we appreciate that, Art. You know, we appreciate John and Kathy making that donation. It's wonderful that they support it. I know Don and John were close, and certainly, you know, in his memory, to make that donation, you know, which seems to be almost a yearly occurrence at this point, is fantastic. It empowers the agency to do so much to help our community, and we appreciate you coming down and presenting that, and John and Kathy, who, like you said, Jim, don't like necessarily the limelight or being recognized. You know, just know that we can't do it without your support. So thank you so much for stepping up and supporting this agency as you do.
And it looks like we've broken our phones, so I've got a new number. It's 781-999-4179.
Wow.
Is our new phone number. So I think the other one melted down.
We had so many calls. It's great to see those phones ring.
I'd
So
like to encourage everybody in Ward 4 to get those phones going, 781-995-4179.
All right, Art.
Please call in and make a donation. Thank you.
thank
very
you, Art, for
much.
coming
Thank
down.
you, Art, for
Good to see
everything
ya.
you do.
Thank you.
That's great, Jim.
That's amazing. They every year they're coming through. The Council of Social Concern also provides children care, as I mentioned before, to the community. Please take a look at a mother whose children attend the Children's Center.
I have 3 children that attend the daycare center. Aria, she's 1.5, and she's in infant toddler room. I have Zion, he's 6 months, and he is also in the infant toddler room. And then I have a 4-year-old, Serenity, who is in preschool room with Digna and Miss Murray. So my daughter Serenity has been attending since she was 2, and then Aria started a couple of months after because I didn't know how old a baby could be to start. So Aria started when she was 4 months old. One of my definitely favorite things about the Children's Center is the teachers. Putting the kids in daycare, I was so nervous, like, oh, are they gonna be okay? Are they gonna be safe? But the teachers made us feel at home since day one, and they helped us tremendously along with our kids' medical needs. For instance, Aria was delayed, and Ruth, her teacher, pointed it out through her test, and she said, you might want to look into early intervention. So they gave me the pamphlet. I called. We had the assessment at my house. She qualified, and the teachers also helped me figure out Aria's feeding. I noticed at home she was gagging, she was choking, something wasn't right, and school would also look out for signs as well. So we did have Aria have a swallow study, and she has dysphagia. So her eating is like very strict. She has to have thickeners in her bottle. She can have purees, soft foods. She does see GI feeding team, and the teachers are really great with making sure that Aria gets all of her needs. And our youngest, Zion, at 3 months, he was diagnosed with dysphagia as well. So us already knowing how to deal with Aria, it makes me feel at ease and comfort that the teachers are going to be good with Zion as well. And the teachers just become your family. They're always there. They're always asking, when the kids are sick, how are they doing? Give me updates. And my kids love coming to school. I never have to fight them to get in the car. They're so excited. And when I do come and they are playing, I sort of don't want to disturb them because they're having a good time. So a couple of fun things that I like about the Children's Center, definitely around the holidays. I attended my daughter Serenity's Thanksgiving lunch. We cooked and we helped out as well. We did Mother's Day breakfast. And Dad actually participated. He came in for the Father's Day, and he enjoyed just sitting down with Serenity, having some breakfast with her, and the gifts that the kids made for the parents were the sweetest thing ever. I have them hung up on my wall in my house. And for our little kiddos, definitely some of the favorite times in the infant toddler room will definitely be the teachers making Christmas ornaments with the kids' faces on it. They're just adorable. I'm very grateful for the Children's Center because with all the kids, doctor's appointments, specialty appointments, me working, and my great grandma, the kids' great grandma getting sick. I couldn't do it or make a living without the Children's Center. I'm here, drop the kids off. It allows me to work, allows me to do things I have to do for them. And I'm like very grateful for the center because they're allowing us to live our American dream while our kids are safe. I want to say thank you to all the staff and the teachers for all that they do. I know you guys don't hear it enough, but I appreciate everything that you guys have done for our family. And I hope, and I know it's sad because my kids are getting older and they're moving up, but I'm grateful for everything that they learn here. My kids have, I think, become more intelligent by being here. So I just want to say thank you guys for all your support and effort dealing with our kiddos.
Jim, that was great to hear from one of our clients, and all the council does. And
Where the
how they
rubber
help
meets
our-
the road.
Exactly.
Yep. We have another guest coming on.
We do. Patrick Fitzgerald, Council of Social Concern Board member. Come on over, Patrick.
So no music when I come on?
Patrick,
We can dance. Go ahead.
We're
Do you
going to
have
get
an
Hail to the
entrance
Chief going. I don't know.
How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on. It's
absolutely.
It's really it's an amazing cause. It really is.
And you've been involved for a couple of years now on the board.
Actually, getting close to 4.
Oh wow.
Getting close to 4
so
years.
what does social concern mean to you, and how did you get involved?
So the thing that struck me is the motto. Neighbors helping neighbors.
Sure.
There's a lot of great places that you can donate money. I mean, lots of places online, particularly nowadays, particularly since COVID. But for me, it resonates at home. Your neighbors are literally someone that could be, depending upon the size of your yard, 100 yards from you, that you don't know is struggling, needs some help, whether it's one of the child care services that the social concern offers, whether it's the food pantry, whether it's the family child care services, or even the online resources. Right. So I was approached once before to say, hey, do you want to be part of the board of directors? And at that point, I really didn't know what it meant until I got in there and saw how hard people were working. I'm partial to the food pantry because at the end of the day, people need to do two things: live someplace and eat.
Yep.
Right.
And to hear that the food pantry services, brace yourselves, close to 5,000 families per year they feed. It's 5,000. And I'm looking right into the camera when I say 5,000. That by itself should make you run to your phone, dial 781-995-4179, and donate. As a matter of fact, as soon as I'm done here, I got like 5 seconds left, I'm going to go and I'm going to donate $100 myself, and I'm going to keep working hard. So I want to just say to social concern people, you're doing an amazing job, and that's why I wanted to be a part of it.
Well, that's great. And not only did you make a financial contribution, but you were instrumental in revamping the social concern website.
Thank you.
That was sorely needed.
Picture, the website, everything. Patrick has his hands all over that, and it's a great resource for the council. We talk about our resources, Jim, right, in the building and our facilities, but electronically as well. And Patrick was instrumental in that. So we appreciate, all his dedicated volunteered time to do that. When he talks about being in there and seeing how it works, he means that because he was in there taking pictures and revamping that website with some others. And so it's a much needed improvement. And that's another way to donate today, right? You can go to the website, socialconcern.org, if you don't want to call in, or you can click the QR code if we're really technologically advanced, and it'll bring you right to a donation page. But any way you can help, you said it best, Patrick, of what drew you. Look, you made the phones ring.
Nice,
Congratulations.
nice. Thank you so much. Whoever that was, thank you so much.
What drew you to the agency, and it's fantastic. So we appreciate all you do.
Hey, one quick other thing.
Sure.
If you do go to the website, socialconcern.org, you'll see that there's an area called Giving Opportunities. It's a tab at the top of the page. In addition to donating money, there's also things like school supplies, toys for the center. And the food pantry updates that on a regular basis, knowing sort of what foods seasonally they're looking for. So go there as well. Don't ever throw away something that's new. Don't ever get rid of that canned corn that you may not ever eat, because somebody will.
Even if there's an overabundance in your garden at the end of the growing season, they'll take it. And you know, there's always a need at that food pantry. People tend to be generous around the holidays and the postal drive and whatnot, but that need never goes away. It's there year round.
Yeah, people really stepped up during COVID. I mean, all of you really did it during COVID. So you know, at risk of sounding greedy, let's step on the gas. Let's keep it going.
Amen.
Okay.
Good
All
job.
right.
Well, thanks, Patrick,
Wonderful,
for coming.
Patrick.
Appreciate it. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
All right, I think we have some more guests, Jim.
Yeah, from the Woburn Chamber of Commerce, we have Electra Govini. Electra, come on in.
How are you?
So good to see you again.
Nice
Come
to
on in
see
between
you.
us.
Hello there.
Thanks for coming down. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
Woburn Chamber of Commerce, how are things going?
Things are going well. You know, part of our mission is that people understand that Woburn is open for business, and we're very welcoming to have you be here, be a part of this community, make it better. Why do we work together to make this all stronger?
Yeah.
So we focus on that business sector, but we also know, you know, as a part of being a part of a bigger community, we want government playing an effective role, but we want families taken care of.
That's right.
And that's what I think of when I think of the Council for Social Concern.
Thank you. No, that's absolutely correct.
You guys throw some really cool events. I had the pleasure of attending one about a week ago.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what happened.
So we had, for you Pats fans, way back Pats fans, Steve Nelson joining us. And he, talk about a charming man, someone who truly is very grateful for the life that he's had and wants to give back. And so, you know, Bob Hellberg was there. You know, we talked about leadership. We talked about getting, you know, how to be inspired through teamwork and that mindset, which is so important in so many phases, like sports, you name it. But we talked about the importance of that strong mindset. So it was a great event. And he would hang with you all day, sign autographs, shake hands. He loved being there.
I know I watched him as a kid, and he's one of the few that actually had his number retired.
Yeah.
And if anybody remembers the Snow Bowl, the one where they brought the snowblower out so John Smith could kick a field goal, he actually got that game-winning ball.
I love it.
So it was a real treat to actually meet a hero from my childhood. But that was one of the neat events that you were able to put on.
We do. We look for a real interesting cross-section. You know, some of it's education. We're going to have an event about, you know, how do you elevate your pitch? Yep. How do you have 30 seconds to make an impression, make a great one. Yeah. Education about the financials of running a business. We have lots of networking. In fact, we have an open house. This is going to be a free networking event coming up. So February 8th at Dave & Buster's, come on down.
That's this week at Dave & Buster's.
That's right. That's right. It's going to be 6 p.m. It's going to be an evening event.
Excellent.
Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Hopefully we'll see you there. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You want to make a challenge to the other members of the chamber?
I do. The council is amazing. I know you've heard, for those of you watching, have heard so much about all that this amazing organization contributes. You know, we all have high times, we have low times, and there are times in which we need extra support. So I don't want to imagine a world in which an organization like the Council for Social Concern doesn't exist. Whether it's being able to have a safe place for your kids to go, so that they can learn and prosper. Having a food pantry, so when you need it, it's there. So I implore you, join me in contributing to this major organization. And let me give you and this is the new number. So it's 781-995-4179. Please call.
Well said. Well, we thank you. We thank the Chamber for everything they do for the Council year in and year out. It's fantastic. We thank the business community and the Chamber's members that support the agency. We can't do it alone, and certainly year after year, they always step up and support the cause. So thank you for being here as a representative of the greater business community.
Thanks so much for having me, and good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
It's great.
Good to see you.
Electra, be well.
Take care.
Take care.
Thanks.
Okay, we have a total so far.
All right, let's hear it.
So far, we have raised $15,885 with it. So we're really shy of our
That's
$20,000 goal.
That's fantastic.
But I think we're gonna get there.
I hope so. We have about a little less than an hour and a half left, I think,
Yep,
right?
a little less than an hour and a half.
So we're halfway through. We're at the halfway point, and we're doing well, which is great. I think Vinny's going to start cooking some more, and it's going to start to smell good in here.
But before that,
right, we got to take another look at our wonderful programs at the Council of Social Concern that we provide to residents.
Council of Social Concern was founded in 1969 by a group of local volunteers who were concerned about the needs of Woburn's low-income and minority families. Their purpose was to promote a climate of neighborliness, which recognizes the inherent dignity of people, regardless of race, religion, or national origin. The agency was formed to function as a conscience to the community. Council of Social Concern was originally located at 19 Campbell Street, Woburn, and served the community at that site for 34 years. After outgrowing the Campbell Street facility, Council of Social Concern moved to their new site at 2 Merrimack Street in April of 2003. Finally, all programs were under one roof, a dream come true. The Council of Social Concern celebrates years of providing service to those who are in need of living in their own community through many programs offered: the Children's Centered, Family Child Care System, Family Skill Building Parenting Education Program, and the Food Pantry Program. We have brought relief and dignity to thousands of children, families, and individuals who look to us for help. Over the years, these programs have altered and expanded their services and increased capacity as needed in response to community need. This year, our programs will assist about 3,000 individuals in Woburn, Winchester, and other residents and communities within the Middlesex County. This is done with the assistance of 26 staff, 15 contracted family child care providers, and approximately 360 volunteers. Please pick up the telephone and call 781-995-4178 to donate live at tonight's Council of Social Concern Telethon.
And we are back. Ooh, that was a long break. Okay, so just to recap quickly, we have sauteed onions, sauteed garlic, our sauteed spices of coriander, cumin, chili powder. So we want to get that blasted. We're going to blast that now. And I have another pan here that I want to saute some portobello mushrooms. I'm going to cube them. Not too small, maybe an inch by inch. And throw those into some hot oil. I want to blast those. You can certainly saute those at the beginning in this pan and have everything done in one pan, but I choose to do it in another pan. So we get that going. And I like to use 3. For this recipe, it's a 3 portobello cap. If you want to add other mushrooms, you can certainly do that. As I always say on my show, there is no rules. You just do what you feel like. I give you the base, and you go from there. So this is sizzling really nicely. Again, the onions, the garlic, the black beans, the spices. And we need a little bit of moisture. I have a cup of brewed coffee here. If you're not a big coffee fan, don't worry about it, because it's all going to get blended in, and you'll never know. That's like they tell you to put coffee in fudge, right? You never really taste the coffee. It just enhances the rest of the recipe. So 1 cup of brewed coffee. You can certainly use espresso for this. This happens to be regular coffee. No, it isn't Dunkin' Donuts, but that's okay. And we want to get this blasting. And I did not add my refried beans yet. Again, it's vegetarian refried beans. Crank this baby up. And into this, we're going to use a couple of tablespoons of ground chili. It's an Asian product. It's got some serious heat. I'm going to throw that in there, a couple of tablespoons. What do I usually use? I have it written down. 3 tablespoons. We'll go with 2. Then it won't be super, super hot. And I just lost power. Hold on, bear with me. Okay, where are we here? I got my mushrooms moving along. I'm just going to throw a little bit of salt on here to sweat out the moisture in the mushrooms. Just a little bit of salt, not a lot. And I'm just going to add a little bit more oil because, of course, mushrooms are like sponges, but I want to get them just cooked just slightly. I get this cranked up to 450, but normally I do this on a regular fry pan on a stove, saute pan. Oh, that sounds good. How's this doing? It's starting to boil a little. You can see that it's very thick. So that refried bean really thickens that up. Depending on how thick you like this, you can certainly add a little bit of water. So I'm just going to add just a little bit. Probably a half a cup. So we have 1 cup of coffee, half a cup of water. And I'm going to add a couple of jalapenos. I'm not going to remove the seeds. I'm going seeds and all. I'm going rogue today. And I'm not going to pre-cook this. I'm going to put this right in there. The hot liquid will cook this down. And again, this is all to taste. But I like the seeds. I like the skins. You can use ancho chilies for this. You don't have to use jalapenos. Anything will do. But jalapenos are readily available. Throw those in. How's our mushrooms doing? Just going to taste one just to make sure they're slightly cooked to get that rawness out of it. We're going to throw those in. You don't have to brown them, you just want them slightly cooked. I just used about a tablespoon or so of olive oil just to get this thing going. And let's turn that down a little bit. And the last but not least, molasses. Heavy-duty tablespoon of molasses. And that, my friends, is that. That's basically the portobello chili. Ooh, boy, be careful there, it's starting to splatter. I think we should get this table higher next year because I can't even see into this pan. But anyway, so if I can show that to everybody, pretty much that's what it's going to look like. It kind of looks like regular chili, but instead of having meat as your protein, we have mushrooms. So that's going to simmer for about a half hour or so. If you don't want it to thicken up a lot, just put the cover on. And that, my friends, is that. We do have another recipe today. I will probably do that into the next segment. Before my little time limit is up, Rich, I just want to make this on behalf of the Woburn Host Lions and President Jay Doherty. I'd like to present this check to the Council of Social Concern from the Woburn Host Lions.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Vinny, I got to tell you, this is very meaningful. Thanks for the Lions for stepping up and doing this. It smells great in here. When do we get to eat?
Well, we got to
wait?
We got to wait.
I got to wait till the show's over? You're killing me.
We got about 20 minutes to a half hour on this.
Oh,
just let
come on.
it simmer down, let the jalapenos cook slightly.
Jim, will you start that timer? 20 minminutes, 30 minutes, so you could start eating? All right. Well, that's great. I think we've got another tribute.
Yeah, here
so
comes another tribute in memory of Mary Lang.
Great.
I think about Mary pretty much every day that I come into the office. She was such an important part of my work at the council. She trained me and mentored me, and I must think about her, something that Mary would know 3 or 4 times a week. She was always so kind, and it was great to hear, how much she loved her family and all the stories of them, and the sleepovers the grandkids would have at her house. And it seems like every day I should be able to call over to her office and ask her what she thinks about something. And I really miss being able to do that. She was a wonderful colleague and friend, and she's very missed.
So I first met Mary about 12 years ago when she used to come in to do the annual telethon here at the station. And she was just the kindest, most generous person. We'd have problems, and she would never get frustrated or mad. She would just be very professional about it, and fix the problem and get the job done. So one day, she wanted to talk to me in my office, and she was in Rotary, and I'd only been here for a couple of years, so I wasn't ready to join Rotary yet, but she asked me to join, and I said, I was thinking about joining, but give me a couple of years and talk to me again. So she did. A couple of years went by, and she came into my office again and talked to me about Rotary and the financial commitments and the volunteering and the service projects. So she's the reason why I joined Rotary. And just to have her involved in these two organizations, Council of Social Concern and Rotary, just goes to show you how much she gave back, how generous she was, because it's all about volunteering your time and helping other people. So Mary was really a mentor of mine. She was a friend of mine, and she will be missed.
Hi, my name is Bill Sullivan. I've known Mary for about 15 years. First, she was a member of the Woburn Rotary Club, and then she got me involved with the Council of Social Concern and got on the board, so I've known her for 15 years. Mary was one of the nicest persons I ever met. She was there for you all the time, supporting both clubs to the fullest extent, and always had a listening ear. If you ever had a situation, she used to give you, her own feedback, and I miss her so terribly.
I'm Billy Polcaro, and my husband Richie and I have been volunteering at the food pantry for around 16 years now. And so we've gotten to know Mary, and she really cared about what we did at the pantry, but she also cared about our lives and the things that we did. She was always very respectful and gentle, caring. She asked Richie to volunteer at the golf.
On the golf committee. She said it wouldn't be hard, and she was right. She did everything. She asked me once, I think, to ask the golf pros a question, because I was going to be up there golfing anyway. That was about the extent of what I donated to the committee.
This year also, he heard people asking, where Mary?
At the luncheon this year, I heard a couple of people walking by the table saying they missed seeing Mary. Where was she? Because they were so used to seeing her. She was a fixture. She was always there. Well, she should have been. She ran it. She thought, I told her that when we went to visit her in the nursing home. I think she thought I was kidding, but I wasn't. I wasn't making it up. It was a true story.
Oh. We used to come upstairs and chat with Mary and catch up on what she was doing, and her in-laws, Ginny and George, how they were doing in Florida. We were friendly with them also. We'll miss coming up, the chats we have, hearing about her family and her grandchildren, the gatherings that they had, and the adventures when they would go boating. She loved going out in the water with them. And now Mary's gone, we know she will always be with us. And we wanted her family to know how much we really do care. And she will be with us in our hearts forever.
Hi, I'm Kathy Lucero, and I'm very happy to be asked to say a few words about Mary Lang. Mary Lang was a very special person and someone that I've worked with, I think, for like the last 15 years at the food pantry and for social concern. And she was a kind, gentle, caring person. She loved her family. She loved her family at the food pantry and at the social concern. And I actually was very happy to be part of that for 15 years in the food pantry part of it. And well, she's going to be missed greatly. I think it's very important that Mary be part of this telethon because she worked so hard to develop that along with the auctions. And I hope all of you remember what a wonderful lady she was. And her memories will never die. Bye, Mary.
Hey, folks, we're back at the phones. Certainly a wonderful, wonderful tribute to Mary. I think we could have completed all 3 hours and more with people saying beautiful things about that beautiful person. But I'm back at the phones here, and I'm joined by a couple of friends of mine. Paula Matthews, who's currently taking a pledge. She runs the food pantry at the Council of Social Concern. And my friend Scott Mathewson. Hi, Scott. Scott, I'm going to give you the microphone. Scott's a member of the Board of Directors. How long have you been involved with the council?
Probably about 15 years. I met Dean at the Woburn Business Association, and he got me involved. And when I was at Dolan Bailey, we'd store turkeys and deliver them every fall. And then Dean invited me on the board. So I've been here, I think, 5 or 6 years.
I know I've worked with Scott many of those years, and Woburn Business Association, now called the Chamber of Commerce. We just had a lecture on earlier today. I did want to make an announcement for a couple of calls that we just got in. One was from Dean Solomon. We have a $50 pledge. Dean was the past executive director of the Council of Social Concern. He had worked with the council since its inception. And from Outsource Print Management, Kathy Lucero, we have a pledge of $100. And now that Paula is off the phone, hi Paula. Hi. Scott, you want to give Paula the microphone? Hey Paula, so you're in charge of the food pantry. How long have you been involved with the council?
I've been there 16 years and food pantry director for 3.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing work, and she is the right person for that job. Her personality, you know, Paula's the type of person you ask Paula to do something, it gets done without any other questions needing to be asked. It's just always been just a delightful person. I've known Paula for years, a long time, and both of you are very good friends. Guys, thank you for volunteering your time to answer the phones today. Again, we want to make these phones ring. If you don't want to call in, you can certainly use the QR code and point your camera at that and make your pledge today. Now I'm going to throw it back to Rich.
Thanks, Jim. Great work on those phones. Keep those calls coming in. Keep pledging on socialconcern.org. But while you're doing that, we have our next act is from Just Dance performing Waterfall Fight. Good to see you. How are you?
welcome back. That was, wow, what really talented dancers.
right?
And
Impressive.
we're in our final hour. We're 2 hours in, so we have one more hour to go of our telethon.
Going by
And,
fast.
it is going by fast. We've got another lineup of guests coming in to talk to us. So our next guest, we have a motivational speaker. Her name, Nora Oliver. Nora, come on up and join us. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me. I appreciate this.
Thanks for coming
It's
down.
good to
Nora.
be here. Good to be here.
So Nora, tell us about what you do.
I'm a motivational speaker, as you said. I'm also a life coach. So I work with a lot of others that are struggling in their lives, having difficulties, whether it's depression, parenting, or just overall, they're not happy. So yeah, I mean, it's been a fulfilling type of job for me to go through and kind of help as many as I can.
Are you from the area?
I am based out of Woburn.
Excellent.
Yes. Yeah. So this is very special to be part of for me.
How long have you been doing this?
So I've been motivational speaker for just over 2 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah.
for you.
So yeah.
So what
absolutely.
leads you into that kind of work?
So you know what? I always, my entire life, I've enjoyed helping others, and it took me a little while to kind of find out that maybe that's something that I should be doing as a career. And once I started looking around, and the more I was talking to people and interacting with others a lot more, I said to myself, you know what? This is something that is absolutely something I have to do. And I started doing it. I started having one-on-one clients, started helping out as many as I could, and I saw a difference in people. And I started seeing how much it made me happy. So, of course, I started accepting more and more clients and seeing the difference. But I have been working with, of course, Tina and Jesse at the Council of Social Concern, and I'm so amazed with the amount of work and all that they do. I mean, they have parents with the childcare.
Yeah.
They help parents with food and other needs that they may have, which is amazing to have. I think this is great that we have here in Woburn. And I always say to myself, you know, when I go shopping, I'm tempted to purchase something, like a $20 sweater. And I say to myself, you know what could I do better with that? You know, there's a $20 sweater that I could purchase, or I could give that away to somebody in need. So I've made a decision every here and there that I am going to donate a lot more, not just my time, but financially as well. So I'm glad to be here, and I do have
Wonderful.
a donation to give as
Thank you.
well. And thank you so much for being here. And if you are watching this, please do donate. Feel free to give a call at 781-995-4179, or also you can go online and make donations as well.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for getting involved with the council.
Of course.
You know, new business in town. It's great to see that you're
We have a great community
you
here,
have a
for
great
sure.
community, and you're getting involved in organizations like this. So thank you so much
Absolutely.
for all you do.
Nora, it was a pleasure to meet
Thank you so much for having me here. And
we'll see you at future events like
of
our
course.
upcoming auction in April.
Yes, of
bingo.
course.
How's your musical bingo skills?
Let's not go there.
All right, we got some time to practice. Maybe.
All right, thanks, guys. I
Thank
appreciate you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wonderful. Okay,
have
next
next,
up, we have representing the Woburn Historical Society, Michael Marr. Michael, here's a friend that I haven't seen in a while.
Yes,
How
yes.
are you?
Good, Jim. How are you?
Good to see you. How are things
Michael.
over
Good
at
to see
the
you.
Woburn Historical Society?
The Historical Society is doing great. We were very low-key for the last couple of years, mostly with COVID, but we picked up some things last year with the student trolley tour and the adult trolley tour. We have a couple of things planned for this year, so we're getting right back into the swing of things. Great program we have scheduled on May 20th with the singing trooper, Dan Clark. And we're hoping that that will be part of our fundraising event for veterans oral history projects that we're doing. So,
Fantastic.
and on behalf of the Historical Society, since we haven't done anything for the last couple of years, we'd like to present you with a check for $300.
Wow.
Great.
Very, very nice.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Always a friend to the council. going back to the days of Jack McElhaney and
Yes,
forward.
yep,
So
yep.
thank you so much for all you do for the agency and the city as
Yes,
well.
yeah.
Such an important part of our
An
city.
incredible resource, and their programs are always so
They are
popular.
great.
From the
Right.
trolley tours, the cemetery tours that
Yes,
you've done in the
yeah,
past. I know
right,
they've
yeah.
participated in those. Just wonderful, people that have passion for history,
Right.
giving it back to the city and making it fun.
Right, it is fun. That's what we say, history is fun. We're making history fun.
Perfect.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in.
Okay.
Michael, thank you, my
Thank
friend.
you.
It's a
Good to
pleasure
see
to
ya.
see you again.
All right, Jim, who do we have next?
Well, we have another Michael, but this one is from the Woburn School Committee.
All right.
I think everybody knows this guy, Michael Morenin. Come on down.
Jim, thanks for having me. Good
Hey, how
afternoon.
are you,
Great
my
to see
friend?
Good to see you as well. Good to meet
Not
you.
only Woburn School Committee, but retired Woburn Fire Department as well for, 30 some odd years?
32 years, Woburn
32
Fire,
years.
retired a year ago. It was me January, so it's been quite a run there, and now I'm just enjoying retirement, part-time living, and here today in support of the council. Obviously, as you stated, Jim, I go way back in the city of Woburn to the council days of being located down on Campbell Street.
Right.
And back then it was probably 933, but today's number is 781-995-4179 to get those donations in. And for you high-tech people, obviously you can use your phone and scan it right there on the television to make your donation to this wonderful organization around Woburn and the community that they've, been so helpful to so many. I see the tributes going out all day long here to Mary. Mary up there at the council for so many years, did so much to all of our families. And the families in Woburn can't thank her enough and can't thank the council enough for all the efforts and everything that goes on up there. Childhood programs, the food pantry. You guys can go on and on and on and talk about your programs, but I'm just here to emphasize what a great organization it is, Social Concern up there.
Excellent.
We appreciate that.
Everything else for me, Jim, so I stole all your thunder.
No, you know what? You're always an easy guest to have on.
It's my pleasure to be here as well as others. I just make a little small donation if I could.
Thank you, my friend.
On behalf of myself and my family, happy to do that here today. And I'm kind of going to give my space up to Representative Rich Haggerty coming on next, I see. And again, good luck today. Hopefully folks here at home can dial in that number again, 781-995-4179. Or go ahead and scan that barcode on the TV and get those numbers up. And later on today, you guys will be enjoying a wonderful feast here from Vinny. So
That's right.
have a great afternoon, gentlemen, and thanks again for all
Michael,
you do.
thank you for supporting everything that you've done for the city over the years.
My pleasure.
All
Have
right.
a good afternoon.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
You too.
Moving right along.
Oh, those phones are ringing, Jim.
Phones
You hear
are
'em.
ringing. Michael knows how to light up those phones.
Penny's cooking, phones are ringing. We're cooking with gas now, right?
We have, next up, State Representative representing the 30th Middlesex District, Representative Richard Haggerty. How are you, my friend?
Thanks so much.
Good
Nice
to see you.
Good to
Rich,
see you
good
as
to see
well.
ya. Thanks
How
for
are things
coming.
up at the State House, my friend?
Everything's going great. Everything's going great.
You have a new session?
It's been busy. Exactly. We got a new governor. We got a new session starting, about a month ago or so. So we've been filing legislation and doing lots of co-sponsorship efforts and a lot of the administrative elements of legislating. But it's been busy. So good.
Excellent.
How many terms is this now? Is it going into what term?
Beginning my third term.
Third term. That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Yep.
Wow.
So
Time flies, huh?
It does fly. It does
Good
fly.
for you.
But good in a good way.
Have you, do you know what committees you're going to be on in the next session?
Not yet. Should be announced probably in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
So we'll see. But, last session I was able to be on telecommunications, utilities, and energy, and I served as vice chair of the Community Development and Small Business Committee, which was good. So
No small work there, that's for
we've
sure.
been busy, but I'm excited to see where we're going the next month or so.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
And you have a little one at home now? Congratulations.
Yes, thank you much.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
Harper Rose, she just turned one last week,
Just a
believe it or
year
not.
old now.
So we had a birthday party for her last Saturday, and it was a wild time at the house, and lots of fun, and
Good.
she's doing great. So she'll be with me next year. I almost brought her this year, but next year she'll be able to walk in and be able to stand here and hang out and make sure she writes a big check. So
Perfect. Well, you're no stranger to the council. You're always involved. At our last couple of auctions, you've done the heads or tails game,
Yeah.
which is always a popular event. Jim, as the auctioneer extraordinaire, has always been involved as well. So we appreciate all you do. We got that auction coming up April 28th. I don't know if you've heard, we're doing musical bingo too. So
Musical bingo.
So brush up on your music
I
bingo
will be there.
skills. So it should be a fun event.
We should see a Haggerty table, I believe.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, and thank you guys for all the work you're doing, because you know, this is one of the gems of our city. This is such a critical organization. In the last 2 years, just shone a bright light on that. We saw, you know, food insecurity at the highest levels we've ever seen, and organizations like the Council of Social Concern played a giant part in taking care of our community, our families, our friends, and really, it's appreciated, and I want you all to know that.
Well, we appreciate that. It's great, you know, that we're able to serve the mission, but it's also great to have supporters like yourself who, you know, help us from a state level secure some funding in order to make our programs happen. So we couldn't do it without you, and we couldn't serve the people of Woburn without you as well. So we appreciate all you do and all your lobbying you do for us at the state level.
We're lucky to have you representing our interests
exactly.
up on Beacon Hill.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And,
thanks.
and let's light up those phones, 781-995-4179. Lots of folks who are in need right now. We need you now more than ever to pick up that phone and contribute. So thank you.
Very good.
Thank you
Rich
very much.
Haggerty folks doing great work for the city.
Perfect.
Next up, we have a performance by the Woburn Memorial High School Marching Band. those are some pretty talented musicians
They
we
are.
have at the high school in the marching band.
Great to see.
Great to see. We have a very special guest with us right now. We have the president of the board of directors for the Council of Social Concern, Mo Uni. Mo Uni, come on down. How are you, my
gentlemen.
friend?
Hey, Mo.
Good to see you.
see you.
Yeah.
Good to
Good
see you.
Mo.
Rich, good to see you. How are you?
Welcome.
Excellent. Welcome. So you're the president now on the board?
Yes, yes.
How's that going for you?
Well, Rich has been very helpful. Rich was the past president, so he was tremendously helpful in transitioning.
Yeah,
And
some
we
pretty
worked
big shoes to fill.
Yes, it is, yeah. And so it's been going reasonably well. We have a new executive director and also Amanda in charge of the fundraising and so forth. So it's a season of change, but also I see a lot of younger generation getting connected to the Council of Social Concerns, so things are going reasonably well, I think.
Not only people volunteering, but people volunteering on the board. We got some younger folks
Younger
coming in,
folks,
as,
yeah.
as we saw earlier today,
Yes.
which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
And it also has to say what Dean and Mary did. You know, they set the foundation.
Sure.
And folks like Richard and other presidents, Kristen and others who served, really gave the baton to us. So we're standing on their shoulders. And so kudos to them and also the folks who are serving right now. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Absolutely, and Mo's done a great job stepping in, taking over. It's been a seamless transition, as you said. So, and things are moving along, which is great to see. Expanded services,
Yes.
New services. So it's great. It's exciting times at the council. So it's great to see.
Yeah.
So
especially
excellent.
caring for the kids, you
Yeah.
know, the child care center, and also the parenting education, things that we do, and the food pantry. That's like a tremendous source of help, especially for the immigrants who are coming in to our neighborhoods.
Tell us a little bit about the parenting education.
The parent, it's something that was recently started about guidelines, you know,
Okay.
in terms of, people, in the old days, we find that, how do you parent a child in the modern age? How do you manage a single family and things like that? So, basics of that
I see.
is what
I see. Definitely a
say.
need for that in today's
Yeah.
society.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And they don't deal with this in schools or colleges. And when a child is born, it's just how do you manage that? So, yeah.
No, it's a great service that they provide. Certainly helping families that need just some coaching. With parenting care, and I think one of our long-term employees has stepped up to run those classes. I think she's excited to do it. So it's I think their first class is going on right now.
Yeah.
This
Wow.
month,
Just
starting this
started,
month.
yeah. Got
So it's
certified
fantastic
and
to see.
started, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. What new event? What events do we have coming up?
Well, we have one of the things we're planning right now is there's a lot of energy among the young folks is the cornhole. So we're trying to come up with that, and we of course have the auction that is coming up,
Sure.
and of course the golf. So we have several events that are coming up. One of the things that the younger folks are talking about is a new cornhole tournament.
Okay.
That can be, and so it's so. So when I mentioned it to my son, who has peripheral engagement in this, he was like, "Sign me up, I'm in." So there's a lot of energy among the younger people.
Way to engage the younger
Yeah, the
generation,
younger
that's-
generation
which
to
is
come in.
so important. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. That's
yeah, because
wonderful.
we need to pass the baton to them, and
Sure.
eventually some of them will step up, serve as presidents, and so forth. So. Yeah.
And Mo, you're not only president of the council, but you're also a pastor in the community.
Yes.
So you see things firsthand
Yeah.
in what you do.
Yeah.
And so, explain the importance of the council and what you see. And have you been able to refer, people to the
Oh,
council?
absolutely, yeah. The council is an arm of social justice.
Sure.
So social justice it's everywhere. Food insecurity, taking care of our kids. Any where justice, where people are marginalized or, ignored. So some of these things people there's a way to be engaged in the society, and some organizations are the arm of social justice. So the Council of Social Concern is that. It's an arm of social justice in our community. So I've been able to, one of the things we talk in our church is about not only is spiritual values individual, but they need to be also communal. That it needs to be justice, compassion, and equality, things like, Dr. King talked about, has to be part of our ethos and pathos and logos. And so that's what we've been talking about, and I'm so glad to be part of the council so I can engage members of our church to be part of that. As a matter of fact, our church is pledging $1,000 to this today, and so we'll have the check to Jesse.
You're not just
and
talking the talk,
No,
you're walking
we're
the walk.
wanting-
You're leading from the front.
Yes, yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
so,
That's
fantastic.
so
Thank you.
count that in, please.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you, Mo.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you
been
very
a
much.
pleasure, and I've enjoyed working with you over the years,
Yes,
and
yeah.
for the what you give to the council and into the community. You're selfless, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and
Thank you for all you do, Mo.
And
Good to
thank
see
you
ya.
for all your help too,
Yeah.
gentlemen. Thank you very
Be
much.
well.
God bless.
See
Bye-bye.
ya.
Up next, we have a performance by the Woburn Memorial High School a cappella choir. Sorry, that was yours.
No.
And we are back. So I get some chicken cubes sauteing here with just a little salt and pepper. I just want to show you all that the chili is ready. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. See that? It's nice and thick, and it's hearty, and it's delicious, but it's very hot and spicy. I did bring a little bit of Tabasco, but I don't think it needs it. It's really got some zing to it. So, this is our Mediterranean chicken, easy gourmet style. I have these cubes of chicken. This is white meat. You can certainly use dark meat, whatever suits your fancy. So I just want to get that cranked up. And I'm going to add 3 cloves of garlic, lightly chopped. Again, I don't really want to mince it because it may burn. So I'm just going to lightly chop that, move that around, crank this baby up. So again, there was a little bit of olive oil, about 1 3/4 pounds of white meat chicken. Sauteed that till it got slightly golden. Now I just put the garlic in, and I have roughly a half a cup of chopped basil. And don't chop the basil too much, just sliver it, because if you chop it, it's going to turn black. So we throw that into the chicken. And I have chicken base, which is concentrated stock, chicken stock. I'm just going to use about a tablespoon of that, eyeball measure. This happens to be a liquid paste. Some of them come in powder. Doesn't matter which one you use. About a tablespoon of that. And that goes in there. And stir that around, get that all mixed in, and have your chicken coated with that. A little bit of black pepper. And what else? We have our spinach, which I have half a pound of spinach. Get rid of that. And I have some sun-dried tomatoes. I prefer the dried ones, not the ones that are in oil, because then you're incorporating other flavors into this. So just get the plain ones if you can find them. If not, if they're in oil, I suggest you rinse them off. Some of the oils are really salty and briny. So I'm going to just use a few handfuls of these. These are just dried, and these are just dried. There's very little salt to them. If you're a viewer of the Easy Gourmet, you know that I like to use ingredients that aren't necessarily salted. That way I can control my salt level. If you start incorporating ingredients that has manufactured ingredients that have salt, the balance is off. So we got that going. I'm going to toss in a little bit of my homemade chicken stock. About a half a cup, give or take. I get this baby cranked up to about 4 1/4. If I was on a regular stove, regular range, I'd probably have it medium high. Okay, now I'm going to add about a half a pound of cooked ziti. Maybe I'll add a little more. Why not? I cooked the ziti to al dente, not el dente, which I notice in a lot of cooking shows they say el dente for some reason, and I think, is el dente a character in some book? I don't know. The guy that wrote the Quoth the Raven Nevermore, who's that guy? Remember, The Raven, he wrote The Raven. You know, the girl that was on the Cosby Show. Who is it? Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. That was, what was his pen name? Joseph, I think. So we got this baby cranked up high. I moved it up even to 450s, which would be, I want this to be blasting. And I want that temperature of the pasta to, the pasta's room temperature. I want to heat that up, and I want to have it absorb some of that chicken stock. Just a little more. So I think I put in about a cup, give or take. Certainly on the measurements of these are rough, very rough, but I put a half a pound of spinach. And I think we're close to being done. There is one more ingredient to finish this off is feta cheese. So I'm just gonna pour some feta cheese crumbles on here. This is a great Sunday dish. Or even during the week when you're in a hurry. And just a little more black pepper. And that's it. That is the Mediterranean chicken and pasta. Okay, we flew right through that. But now, let's take a look at some very special moments with Mary Lang. Well, we're back. That was a beautiful tribute to Mary, as well as we've been doing all day long, remembering Mary Lang and all she did for the council and the community. So it's fantastic. We wanted to check in quickly with the phones. As you can see, we're still taking active phone calls at this point in time, taking donations. You still have about 25 minutes left, so please continue to dial that number, donatesocialconcern.org. I'm going to toss it over to Maddie for a second. Maddie, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Hi.
Maddie is one of our newer employees at the Council of Social Concern. Why don't you just tell everyone what you do?
So I am the development assistant. I help Amanda do social media things. I help with organizing this. I also am helping with organizing the auction that's later this year. That's just a couple of the things that I do.
Just a couple of things you do on a daily basis. So we're very happy to have you. Those social media posts are fantastic, and thank you for working on all of that. And how's it going today?
Good, good. I'm pretty sure we have met our goal.
We have. Wow.
Yeah, we have met our goal,
All
which
right.
is super amazing.
Well, let's surpass that goal at this point. So that's fantastic news. Well, thank you. Well, thank you for all you do at the council.
Thank you.
Are you excited for musical bingo in a couple
Yeah,
weeks?
it does sound really fun.
All right. Great. All right, well, let's now, at this point, we'll go take a look at the Woburn Memorial High School cheerleaders in a great performance.
Again, some more local talent from the high school students.
Some serious
Wow.
talent there. That was amazing. Nice work.
You know, I can do flips like that.
Really?
No.
Oh.
No.
I could too, but my back would feel it for the next
exactly.
10 weeks.
Then you couldn't do your telethon.
Exactly.
Okay, we have a couple more guests for the telethon. We're in the last 20 minutes of the event. Representing the Woburn Rotary Club, Danny Walborn, come on down. How are you, my friend?
Very good.
Good to see you.
Danny, good to see you.
How you guys doing?
Welcome.
Excellent. Thank you for having me.
How's things going over at Rotary?
Oh, Rotary, you know Jim.
I do.
Jim knows very well. Standing here with two fellow Rotarians. Jim's in my club. But we do a lot of stuff around the community. I mean, some of the bigger projects we do is we help provide some goods to the veterans in our area. We help the fire department with some of their fire safety education for the kids in the schools in Woburn.
Not to mention the smoke detectors.
Oh, the smoke detectors, yes. We pair up with the fire department and install carbon monoxide and smoke detectors in seniors' homes after they register.
Amazing.
So do a lot of stuff around the community, yeah. Yeah,
You're a busy guy in the community, Danny.
I try.
Being from here, and you
Yes.
know, it's great that you get involved with not only with Rotary but also the council. You're a board member, and in fact, I believe you're the treasurer this year
Yes, I
of the
am.
council.
Is the right guy for the job. We got a
Exactly.
banker being treasurer, absolutely.
So that's why we put him on at the end, right? Because he's here at the end to see how we do as a total and
To bring the wheelbarrows full of cash back to the bank.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
I'm very happy to hear we already hit our goal. That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's great,
news.
fantastic.
That doesn't mean we don't want the phones to ring
No,
anymore.
keep-
We got to keep. We got to keep it going. We got to
Please
crush
keep
the goal.
going.
We got to crush it.
Danny's been on the board for a long time, and he knows that every dollar counts to keep those programs running and serve everyone. But I know, Danny, I was talking to you a little bit before you came on, and you were at a special birthday party today.
Yes, I was.
And I think you've got some people at home maybe watching somebody on TV. So do you want to say hello to anybody out there in TV land?
Absolutely. I want to say a nice big shout out to everyone that's still over in Bedford celebrating my niece's birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy
Nadia.
birthday. Happy birthday.
So it's great to see everyone. They were very supportive, very happy, and very proud that I was coming to do this.
Well, that's great. They should be proud because you do a lot for the community, and being a Rotarian, as we all are.
Yep.
Service above self is the motto, and it's it's a great organization that collaborates nicely with the council, day in and day out. So,
But to
we
give
appreciate that.
credit for the city of Woburn, not only do we have a Rotary Club, but we've got 3 Lions clubs.
Right.
We've got a Kiwanis Club. All of them very active. All of them doing great things to benefit the city. I mean, the volunteerism that goes on in this city of 38,000 people is absolutely amazing, and a lot of other communities would be jealous of that.
I can tell you,
So
we're
very
jealous,
fortunate.
and it's certainly the volunteerism. You're right, is amazing, and what they do for the community. So it makes the community that much better, and stronger. So thank you
It
for all
does.
that.
Absolutely. So on behalf of Rotary, we would like to make a donation. So this year, on top of our annual $1,000 that we like to give, this year we are also adding in memory of Mary Lang. We are going to double our donation. So we are going to give a $2,000 check today.
That's
on
fantastic.
behalf of the telethon.
Well, thank you to your fellow Rotarians, both of you as Woburn Rotarians. Thank you so much for that generous donation. Mary, a past president of Woburn Rotary, just a few years ago. She did a fantastic job at a tough, difficult time, and it's great that you've stepped up and done that this year in her
Absolutely.
honor. So we very much appreciate that.
Yeah, not a problem. Not just me. Got to give credit to everyone in the group.
That's right. So, well, thanks, Danny,
Thank
for being
you for
here.
all you do,
We'll
Dan.
let you get back to your Sunday
Thank
with
you
the kids.
very much.
Go get back to some cake and ice cream.
Right. Try to get back to some cake. Absolutely.
Thanks, Danny.
All right,
Thank you very much,
Danny,
guys.
for
Have a good
everything
one.
you do. All right. Next up, we have our veterans agent, Bob Davis, joining us. Hey, Bob.
You doing?
Come on over.
All right.
Good to see you, my
Nice to
friend.
see you as well.
Bob, thanks for coming down.
No,
Appreciate
no
it.
problem at all. Nice to see you.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
And how's things with the veterans department going?
Excellent. Busy.
Now, you've been in that position almost 2 years now, or
yeah, a little under a year.
okay, a little under a year.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, a little under a year.
How do you like it? How's it going?
Excellent. Excellent. Very busy. A little more than I expected, but always welcome. You look from afar. You look at the couple parades, right? Memorial Day, Veterans Day. So much more to it, and I just heard somebody else mention the amount of community input, community effort that you see around here. It is truly phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is. It's really unmatched in the area. So all these different organizations really lend itself to the city, and makes the city that much stronger. So
Sure
it's
does.
great to see. And I'm sure you see that in what you do, right? I mean, people
Every day.
stepping-
It's
okay.
one of the good things. You go home at night, feel pretty good about yourself, looking at, it's not just myself in there, but other veterans, helping out other veterans. And it's something I mentioned to somebody else out in the other room. My first interaction with the council was this past Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And the amount of community getting in there, the diversity, the just the
That is something to
inclusiveness of the
behold,
people. It
what we
truly
do at
is.
Thanksgiving.
So it truly
Absolutely.
is. And I look back, what is it? This is your 53rd year?
Yes.
Council?
Uh,
So 53 years.
54.
years.
That's right, 1969.
Correct. And kind of built around that diversity piece. And
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful to see in the community.
Yeah.
So take us through it, right? It's your first experience.
Yep.
I mean, we're accustomed to it. We've seen
Sure.
it for several years, but coming in and seeing that at the American Legion Hall and everything that's
Yep.
going on, what was it like to see that?
So overwhelming, the amount of food. The amount of food, the amount of donations, the amount of effort put in by the community, by the volunteers, and truly the thankfulness of the folks that are being helped
Yeah.
by that. It was very commendable, very nice to see.
Yeah, we give out something like 400 baskets that
Amazing.
single day.
And I think what strikes me is the amount of need, and the amount of need that continues to be there year after year.
Mhm.
And if we weren't there, if we didn't have the funds that come in through something like this, there'd be a massive hole that God knows how it would be filled.
Absolutely.
So,
Everyone chases sustainability, right?
Right.
And that is truly, something sustainable for the public and the community to get involved with. It's great to see.
Well, we appreciate you coming down here. We appreciate the support.
Absolutely, and I have something.
oh, I'll definitely take that.
From myself.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Bob, thank you for your support.
I appreciate it.
Great
Thank
having
you.
you around in
Yeah,
the city.
great to have you. Thanks.
All right,
Excellent.
awesome. Now, let's take a look at Just Dancing performing If the World Was Ending.
I was distracted in traffic. I didn't feel it when the earthquake happened, but it really got me thinking. Were you out drinking? Were you in the living room chilling, watching television? It's been a year now. I think I figured out how to let you go and let communication die. I know you know you weren't down for forever, and it's fine. I know you know we weren't meant for each other, and it's fine. But if the world was ending, you come over, right? You come over and you'd stay the night. Would you love me for the hell of it? All our fears would be irrelevant. If the world was ending, you'd come over, right? The sky be falling and I'd hold you tight. And there wouldn't be a reason why we would even have to say goodbye. If the world was ending, you'd come over, right? Right? If the world was ending, you'd come over, right? Right?
I tried to imagine your reaction. It didn't scare me when the earthquake happened, but it really got me thinking. And night we went drinking, stumbled in the house and didn't make it past the kitchen. It's been a year now. Think I figured out how to think about you without it ripping my heart out. And I know we know you weren't down for forever, and it's fine. I know we know we weren't meant for each other, and it's fine.
lot more talent being shown there.
Another great performance, amazing.
You know, every year Just Dancing gives us some great performances, and it's wonderful to see that talent. Next, we have a really special guest, Executive Director of WPMC, Brian Ouellette. Come on down.
Hey, Brian.
Speaking
Hey,
of
Brian.
talent, right? Speaking of talent.
Exactly, the real talent.
No, I'd rather
We
be on the other side.
honestly, we couldn't do this show without WPMC. They're very talented staff. That's led by Brian.
It was all me. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. Just kidding. No, as you guys know, we have an incredible staff here, and it's not just today, the work that they've done today, but this production starts weeks and weeks before today, you know, to get everything into place. So I'm here to thank them, and also to thank you guys who have been standing here for 3 hours. I don't know how you guys do it, but I want to make sure I thank Jim Major and Rich Mucci as our hosts, and also our incredible cook, Vinny Ferlisi, who does a great job over there.
Good job, Vinny. Smells great.
Still smells great.
And, you know, for our staff, I do want to mention Lauren Coleman, who was our director today, Anthony Gilio, who was our technical director, Jen Gatta was on teleprompter, and other things today, not just that. We have 2 students today that helped out, Morgan Greenow and Morris Flynn, who are in our television production classes and morning announcements, who are 2 great students that really like, you know, this kind of stuff, and I'm glad that they're here at the high school and they can actually do this kind of stuff with the equipment that we have here. So, you know, today I just, one more thing I wanted to mention is, you know, the Neighbors Helping Neighbors, which is something that we did today, and our grand total so far is $23,530. I'm talking about $23,530 so far.
Fantastic.
So Neighbors Helping Neighbors, great job, everybody.
Well,
Crushed our goal.
That's great.
You
Great
crushed
to
it.
hear. Great job, everyone. Brian, you know, this media company is really the unsung hero of the community. You do so much for the community, and it's not, you know, often that we get to thank you and your staff for what you do. But on a day like today, it certainly shows the importance of having such a company in the town and in the city, really. And thank you for all you do, all of the time that you dedicate to this, and all the causes that you support, and everything you do to keep people informed of what's going on in the community, whether it's games, meetings, or these types of events. It really makes a huge difference. So thank you to everybody that helped out today. It's been a great day. We raised a lot of money for a great organization, so thank you.
Yep. Thanks, I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
All right, thanks.
Wonderful.
That's great news, Jim. We did our job.
Absolutely. Hey, you want to introduce your boss?
I do. I want to introduce Jesse Ben Cosme. Jesse, come on out, our Executive Director of the Council of Social Concern. Don't be shy.
Hey, Jesse.
Hi.
This is Jesse's first telethon, I think.
It is.
Right?
It is my first
as the
telethon.
Executive
Welcome,
Director.
welcome.
Thank you. It might be my first telethon as an employee.
That's right.
Because I started in 2019 in May, and then pandemic hit.
Yep.
Oh, I think 2020 was our last one. but
Right.
it
Right.
is- Yep. So
But,
fairly
well,
new.
the first
employee.
live one like this. I think the one we did in 2020 was a Zoom one. It was a little different.
A little different.
So it's great to be back in the studio. It's great to have everyone here. It's great to see the community come out today. You know, all past friends of the agency come out, make donations, call in, pledge online. It's been a great day. And so I know you got a lot of things going on at the council. You are a busy person. You've had big shoes to fill with Dean Solomon, and you've really stepped up to the challenge. Tell us what is going on at the council and what, you know, these donations today will go towards.
First, I appreciate you saying that, so thank you. So it has been busy. We are doing such great things with the food pantry, the children's center as well. We're really looking forward to making the children's center like a state-of-the-art child care facility for children who are low to moderate income. So all of our kids, you know, 50-something children each year that we have there, all come from a state-subsidized wait list. And our facility, even as great as it is, it's 20 years old now, so it needs a little bit of TLC. So we're looking forward to making it a state-of-the-art center, and, you know, part of the building as well, because we do more than childcare. We have the food pantry, we have our parent education going on as well. We have a brand new conference room, you know, virtual, so we can do our parent education in person and virtual. We can grow that. So, you know, it's not limited to the people who just fit in the conference room, which is great. Anything else?
Well, you also had a couple of unique fundraisers as well this year. You sent families
To the Red Sox.
To the Red Sox game.
Yes, we
these
had
are,
the
Jim,
Red Sox.
These are clients of the agency that
Okay.
got to go to the Red Sox game. And why don't you just explain that?
So we partnered with the Red Sox this year. The tickets for the families were sponsored by a lot of our members of the board, which we were really appreciative of. And they got to go to the game for free.
Wow.
So we had employees, we had friends come, and we had clients come and enjoy a Red Sox game.
How much fun is
was
that?
great.
About 100 people, right?
Yes. So we
That's
had about
fantastic.
100
What an
people go.
opportunity for
That's
those
great.
that probably normally wouldn't be able to go to a Red Sox game
Right.
because of the cost of getting in and whatnot.
We also had the Vespa raffle.
That's
over.
right.
Yep.
I didn't win the
over
Vespa.
fall.
I'm a little disappointed. But Sogno was involved in that, I believe.
Yes,
and
Sonia Restaurant was really good. The Martinetti family,
Oh.
very generous to us, and we raised over $16,000 for our food pantry. through that
Outstanding.
As well.
So we've got some
So-
great things. Sounds like some great things are happening. Expanded services, and every dollar that's raised in these types of events, goes towards the agency. Right?
So what we do is we listen to our clients, see where their needs are, and we just try to see how we can help and how we can grow our programs and offer different services and try to meet basic needs of people, which is our motto.
That's
So-
fantastic. So it sounds like exciting times.
Good stuff.
At the agency. Next up is the Music Bingo Jack McElhaney Memorial Auction.
April 28th.
April 28th. Are you excited?
I am very excited.
I am too.
That's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to
I've
that.
been listening to my Spotify playlist. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play.
That's right. Well, maybe we can get at the same table or something if you're that good. So.
Tag team.
Yeah,
Tag
exactly.
team.
Well,
Yep.
thank you for being here, Jesse. Obviously, and all the work that you do, and to all the employees there that day in day out, serve the mission. I mean, it's easy to stand up here for a couple hours, Jim, and talk about it, right?
Right.
But they walk the walk, as you would say. Day in and day out, they serve those in need in our community, and it's just an amazing organization. It's tough to put into words what they do on a daily basis, but you're the leader of the organization, so on behalf of the general public, thank you, and thank you to everyone who works there and does the work.
Well, the staff show up because they want to. They want to help. They love working there. We have so many long-term employees that just help serve the community, and I am really grateful to be able to be a part of it as well.
Fantastic.
We're grateful to have you in Woburn.
I think
Thank
that's
you.
a good way to end the show,
Absolutely.
right?
I think that brings us to the end of the 2023 Telethon, our 14th annual.
Great. Well, thank you, Vinny.
Vinny, come on
over,
out.
Vinny.
That's
I mean,
right.
it
We'll
smells
let Vinny out of the
fantastic in here.
kitchen.
Yeah, come on over,
Come on
Vinny.
in. And I think that's
a wrap.
That's a wrap, folks.
It's a
Until
wrap.
next year, we'll see you at the auction in April 28th. Bye now.